Chapter 44-40. A heavenly venerable shouted, waking up many people from the heavenly human tribe, especially some of the young and middle-aged men. These people shuddered and woke up. Then, they broke out in cold sweat. Just now, they had almost lost their faith, leaving behind a heart demon in their hearts. The consequences of that were very serious. It would severely affect their cultivation in the future, making it difficult for them to improve their cultivation. Those geniuses at the 9th layer of the God-Emperor realm might be trapped in the 9th layer of the God-Emperor realm forever. Fortunately, a heavenly venerable woke them up in time. Similarly, the people from the Heaven Destroyer were overjoyed. Lu Ming could be considered as a member of the Heaven Destroyer now. Now that he had killed Yi Xiaofan, it greatly increased the prestige of the Heaven Destroyer and destroyed the morale of the heavenly human tribe. In the void, Fei Huang smiled and muttered to herself, "I was right about him. This kid's future is limitless. Even I can't see through him. Amazing. The person that junior sister likes is indeed extraordinary. This kid can't be comparable to Master in the future, right?" The third demon sword also muttered. However, he still had a smile on his face. He was happy for Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing. The other Origin Realm experts from the Heaven Destroyer also smiled. After this battle, there was no doubt that Lu Ming would take first place. At this moment, Yi Xiaoxian's body reformed on the lotus. At the beginning, when he looked at Lu Ming, his eyes were filled with murderous intent. But very soon, he hid it and became calm. "Lu Ming, this is only our first battle. We will have many chances in the future. I will definitely defeat you in the next battle," Yi Xiaoxian said calmly. He had regained his confidence. "This guy is very scary." Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. As a peerless genius who had mastered the perfect force of heaven, he was regarded as the most powerful person in the universe. Suddenly, he was killed by Lu Ming on the battle stage. This was a huge blow to him. After suffering such a huge blow, Yi Xiaoxian was able to recover in such a short time. One had to admit that this person's temperament was very terrifying. No wonder he was able to cultivate the perfect power of the heavens. "I'll wait for your next battle," Lu Ming responded calmly. Although Yi Xiaoxian was strong, he was also very confident. No one had ever been able to surpass him after being defeated by him once. Not in the past, and not in the future. This was his belief of being invincible. Yi Xiaoxian did not say anything more. His expression was calm. He knew very well that people like them all had incomparably firm beliefs. They all had their own paths that they were determined to walk. No matter how much others said, it was useless. After the battle between Lu Ming and Yi Xiaoxian, there were still 9 more matches. However, not many people were paying attention to them. This was because there weren't any more battles that were worth paying attention to. Not long after, the battle for the origin seed of the God-Emperor realm came to an end. This battle was really full of ups and downs, making many people feel great in their hearts. That was because no one had been able to guess the result of this battle. The battle situation was unpredictable. Every round, there would be huge changes. It wasn't until the final round that the true result was revealed. Many people's hearts had been on edge the entire time. When all the God-Emperor realm battles had ended, the old voice rang out again. "The God-Emperor realm battles have all ended. Alright, I will now announce the specific rankings. First place, Lu Ming. Second place, Yi Xiaoxian. Third place, Xian Yanqing. Fourth place, Dark Knight Rose. First place, you can enter the highest rank. Second to fourth place, you can enter the second rank. Fifth place, Wan Shen. Yi Chu Tianji and Yi Ling Hongye are both 6th place. The old voice continued to announce the names from the 5th to the 13th. This was because these 9 people could enter the 3rd rank. Without a doubt, Bubbles and Autumn Moon had entered the top 13. They had obtained the third rank, the same rank as Yi Chu Tianji and the rest. This made Yi Chu Tianji extremely displeased. He used to be known as the strongest son of heaven with a 12-star battle strength, but now, he was in the same rank as some 11-star battle strength people. In his opinion, this was a great humiliation. It's all because of these guys. Yi Chu Tianji's cold gaze swept over Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Wan Shen and the rest. In his opinion, it was all their fault. If these people had not blocked his path, his ranking would not have been so low. He would have at least entered the top 4. Now, I will send you to the Cosmic Sea. How much you can gain will depend on yourselves. The old voice rang out. Lu Ming and the rest were looking forward to it. What exactly was the Cosmic Sea that could help one comprehend the origin seed? They were all very curious and looking forward to it. As soon as the old voice finished speaking, the lotus roots under the feet of Lu Ming and the rest started to grow crazily. There was a total of 130 people. The lotus roots under their feet kept growing taller and taller, sending them into the sky. About a few minutes later, the lotus roots stopped growing and came to a stop. As for the height of the 130 people, there was an obvious change as well. Lu Ming was high and mighty. He sat at the highest point and looked down at the others. Below him were Yi Chuxian, Xian Yanqing, and Dark Night Rose. However, their height was about 10,000 feet shorter than Lu Ming. This was the second rank. Further down was the third rank. It was Wan Shen, Yi Chu Tianji, Yi Ling Hongye, Bubbles, Autumn Moon, Di Jiani, and the rest. The height of these people was 10,000 feet shorter than the second rank. Then it was the fourth rank and the fifth rank. The height of the latter rank was 10,000 feet shorter than the previous rank. The 5 ranks were like a flight of stairs, clearly separated. At this moment, the lotus petals under their feet suddenly emitted a dazzling radiance. A layer of multicolored light shrouded them. At this moment, Lu Ming was enlightened. He sat down cross-legged and closed his eyes. His heart entered a state of emptiness. The next moment, Lu Ming's soul seemed to leave his body and fly into the vast universe. He was roaming in the boundless universe. Suddenly, a whirlpool appeared and sucked Lu Ming in. He seemed to have entered a tunnel and flew forward at an extremely fast speed. He did not know how long he had flown. It might have been an instant or billions of years. Anyway, Lu Ming could not tell. Suddenly, the tunnel came to an end. Lu Ming flew out of the tunnel and arrived at a strange place. Lu Ming was stunned. He realized that he seemed to have arrived at the sea. No, this was not the sea. However, it was as boundless as the sea. He looked around and realized that there were resplendent multicolored lights in all directions. It was boundless and filled with all kinds of multicolored lights. Chapter 44-41. This feeling is so familiar. It's the feeling of the primitive universe. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. He felt that the area he was in gave him a very familiar feeling. This feeling was exactly the same as the feeling the primitive universe gave him. Are these stars? There are also nebulas, galaxies, star regions. Lu Ming looked carefully and found that there were endless stars rotating in the area he was in. There were also galaxies and star regions. And he had become extremely huge. It was as if his palm could cover a star region. And between these galaxies and star regions, there were some multicolored lights. These multicolored lights seemed to be a special kind of energy. They were vast and unfathomable, high and mighty. Lu Ming was familiar with this kind of energy. This was because he could sense it from origin realm figures. Also, he could sense a similar aura from the origin realm ancient characters battle and quantity. Origin. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Was this the origin? This kind of origin was very clear. Lu Ming stretched out his hand to grab the origin and could clearly feel the touch. It was really unbelievable that he could directly come into contact with the origin here. In the primitive universe, the origin was a mysterious and illusory thing. It could only be comprehended, but it could not be touched or captured. But here, he could actually come into contact with it. How easy and fast would it be to comprehend it like this? As expected of the cosmic sea. It was indeed mysterious and unfathomable. It was no wonder that many people wanted to come here. They would rather suppress their cultivation and not break through to compete. What's further away? After sizing it up for a while, Lu Ming was curious again. He found that this area had a boundary. There was a boundary in all directions, and the places further away were enveloped by multicolored lights. It was impossible to see what was behind the multicolored lights. And the places further away gave Lu Ming a strange feeling. The aura was completely different from the aura of the primitive universe. Lu Ming was puzzled. Xiaoqing, autumn moon. Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Not far away, he saw Xianyanqing, autumn moon, myriad god, bubbles, and company. Lu Ming. Xianyanqing, autumn moon, and the others also saw Lu Ming. They were overjoyed and flew over. However, Lu Ming immediately discovered a problem. He realized that the bodies of Xianyanqing, autumn moon, and the others were much dimmer and more illusory than his. His body was very solid, as if it had materialized. As for Xianyanqing and the others, they were obviously much more illusory. Xianyanqing was still alright, especially myriad god, autumn moon, and company. They were a little hazy and it was obvious that they were not corporeal. Could it be that this is the result of being in a different position? Lu Ming's heart stirred. That was very likely the case. Lu Ming was in the first level, and his body was obviously the most solid. Xianyanqing was in the second level, and his body was second. As for myriad god, autumn moon, and company, they were in the third level, and their bodies were naturally more illusory. One had to know that the origins here could be touched with one's body and could be directly felt. The more solid one's body was, the better the feeling would be. The effect of comprehending the origins would definitely be better. In this way, the difference between the different levels was reflected. Soon, Lu Ming's idea was verified. Because they had discovered others. For example, the people in the fourth and fifth levels. These people's bodies were even more illusory, and some looked like they would collapse at any time. Obviously, the effect of comprehending the origin seed in such a state would definitely be worse. But there was a strange thing, and that was that they did not see a single heavenly human. This was not right. The heavenly human made up the majority of the top 130 who were qualified to connect to the cosmic sea. But now, there was not a single heavenly human here. Lu Ming, Xianyanqing, and the others fell into deep thought. But after thinking for a long time, they still could not find an answer. Forget it, let's start comprehending the origins. We have to hurry. Lu Ming said. The others also nodded, and then they all found a suitable place to start comprehending the origins. Even though they had more than 900 years, it was still a very short period of time for people at their level. Especially when it came to comprehending the origin. One had to know that when those existences in the origin realm were in seclusion to comprehend the origins, a few stellar years might have passed. Compared to a stellar year, 900 years was a huge difference. Lu Ming chose a place where the multicolored light formed by the origins constantly flowed. Lu Ming rushed in, and his entire body was enveloped by the origins. Suddenly, he had a strange understanding in his heart, as if he had caught something. There's an effect so soon. Lu Ming was overjoyed. The cosmic sea was indeed the cosmic sea. It was indeed mysterious and the effect was astonishing. Originally, with their realm, they were not qualified to comprehend the origins at all. In the primitive universe, with their cultivation realm, they were far from qualified to comprehend the origins. No matter how hard they tried, they would not be able to touch the surface of the origins. Because the difference in realm was too great. Only when their cultivation reached the peak of the Almighty Master realm would they be qualified to touch the origins and comprehend them. If their cultivation was not at the peak of the Almighty Master realm, they would not be qualified. But the cosmic sea had forcefully erased the gap between them, and the effect was very shocking. Of course, this was also related to Lu Ming's position in the first grade. His body was the most solid, and his perception of the origins was the clearest. The others did not have such an effect. Lu Ming collected his thoughts and began to comprehend wholeheartedly. Outside the Grand Supreme Immortal City, everyone only saw Lu Ming and the others sitting cross-legged on the lotus, enveloped by the multicolored light of the lotus, cultivating with their eyes closed. Other than that, there was no abnormality, just like those Almighty Masters. At this moment, the competition for those below the Almighty God Emperor level had also begun. After nearly a year of competition, the results for those below the Almighty God Emperor level had been decided, and a portion of them had successfully connected to the Cosmic Sea. However, whether the method they used to enter the Cosmic Sea was the same as Lu Ming and the others, and whether the effect would be the same, was unknown. This was because Lu Ming and the others had only seen the Almighty God Emperor level existences from beginning to end. They did not see any existences of other realms. Time passed quickly, and year after year passed. In the blink of an eye, more than 900 years had passed. The 1,000-year time limit for the Grand Supreme Immortal City to leave was getting closer and closer. In the blink of an eye, there were less than 10 years left before the Grand Supreme Immortal City would leave. Suddenly, boom! A terrifying aura erupted, shaking the heavens and the earth. This aura came from those Almighty Masters who were connected to the Cosmic Sea. Everyone's gaze turned in that direction. What a terrifying aura! This aura is simply earth-shattering. It's like a universe. The primitive universe is ancient, powerful, and shocking. Some of the people with lower cultivation levels shouted in horror. Chapter 44-42. Those with lower cultivations were shocked. Those with higher cultivations, such as Divine Lords and Origin Realm cultivators, were also shocked. This is. Someone is breaking through to Origin Realm. Someone is about to truly control Origin. Several Origin Realm cultivators spoke one after another. The others were all shocked. Someone was actually about to break through to reciprocity. This was a rare occurrence. How many years would it take for an Origin Realm cultivator to appear in the entire primitive universe? Witnessing someone break through to Origin Realm with their own eyes was a rare event. Who is it? A question popped up in everyone's minds. They used their eyes to carefully observe through the vast space. In the end, everyone's gaze landed on a burly figure. It's him. He's from the Heaven Destroyer. Everyone's hearts trembled. They were all in disbelief. The person breaking through was actually from the Heaven Destroyer. One had to know that the celestial race occupied the top 3 spots in the competition for Divine Lords. However, this burly man was only 4th. Clearly, the top 3 celestial race cultivators were superior to the Heaven Destroyer in terms of battle prowess, cultivation, foundation, and potential. However, the Heaven Destroyer's Divine Lord was the first to break through to Origin Realm. As for the top 3 Heavenly Human Clan Divine Lords, they had yet to make a breakthrough. How could this be? Many people were puzzled. Could it be that the Heaven Destroyer's talent and potential were greater, but his battle prowess was insufficient, which was why he was 3rd? Damn it, the primitive universe really is a barrier to our race. Otherwise, why would we let this person break through first? A celestial exalt from the celestial race growled angrily. However, his voice was suppressed, so no one else could hear him. Only a few people from the celestial race could hear him. There's nothing we can do about it. If our race wants to break through, we have to pay an even greater price. Therefore, we can't let the forbidden body grow, or it'll affect our race even more. Another celestial exalt spoke. That's right. It's best to get rid of the forbidden body. The third celestial exalt spoke. He was very young and wore golden armor. He held a golden spear in his hand, making him seem like an invincible war god. He was Wuxia, the sworn enemy of the third demon sword. The conversation between the celestial exalts revealed a huge secret. Unfortunately, no one else could hear it. All right. On Heaven Destroyer's side, the white-haired Origin Venerate stroked his beard and laughed loudly. The third demon sword and the others also smiled, unable to contain their joy. As long as this person succeeded in breaking through, Heaven Destroyer would have another Source Venerate. Source Venerables were too important. They were the true pinnacle of battle power in the universe. Every additional one was extremely important. There were over 10,000 powerful races on the desolate universe's myriad races, but only the top 10 races possessed reciprocity experts. Of course, other races might possess reciprocity experts as well, but they would be extremely rare as phoenix feathers or Qilin horns. If the Heaven Destroyer could gain another reciprocity expert, it would be great news for the Heaven Destroyer. The people on Heaven Destroyer's side were very happy and secretly hoped that this person would succeed in breaking through. As for the heavenly human tribe, they were praying that this person would fail. Roar! The burly figure let out a loud roar as his body left the lotus and floated in the void. Then, his body started to expand rapidly. In the end, he turned into an indomitable figure. This was a primordial divine spirit, a pure primordial divine spirit. He had the head of a dragon and the body of a human. He was extremely huge and a vast aura spread out in all directions. He roared at the sky as he tried to break through to reciprocity. Lord Long Fan is about to break through to reciprocity and become an over-god. There were a few primordial divine spirits in the surroundings. They were all divine masters and they were all excited. An over-god was the highest level of primordial divine spirits. It was equivalent to a source venerate or a heavenly venerate of the heavenly human tribe. Long Fan was the name of the primordial divine spirit who was trying to break through to reciprocity. He was an existence who had lived since the incipient god era. He was extremely powerful and had accumulated a lot of power. This time, he had connected to the cosmic sea and obtained its help to break through the bottleneck and attempt to break through to reciprocity. Of course, breaking through to reciprocity did not mean that he would succeed. Failure often meant death, so many people were very nervous. Roar! Long Fan roared continuously. His indomitable body swelled up like a balloon as if it would explode at any time. His aura became more and more terrifying. Everyone waited and watched. They knew that this was the critical moment of the breakthrough. Either he would succeed or he would fail. However, Long Fan was still under the protection of the Taishang Immortal City. No one could affect his breakthrough. Otherwise, the people of the Heavenly Palace would have taken action long ago to interrupt Long Fan's breakthrough. Now, they could only watch helplessly. In the blink of an eye, half an hour had passed. At this moment, Long Fan's aura had reached its peak. The void was constantly trembling under his aura. However, the others who were connected to the cosmic sea on their respective lotuses were not affected at all. They were enveloped by the light of the lotuses, which cut off all senses of the outside world. The people outside could not attack them, and they could not sense what was happening outside. Therefore, the others, including Lu Ming and the others, were still quietly cultivating. Break! Suddenly, Long Fan roared. His long hair fluttered, and his originally powerful aura suddenly increased by a notch. Buzz! At this moment, everyone felt as though the entire universe was trembling. Then, a shocking scene appeared. All the stars in the universe shone brightly at this moment. All the stars were several times brighter than before. Then, from all over the universe, rays of light rushed in this direction. They were too fast. In just a few breaths, they had crossed the endless universe and rushed into Long Fan's body. This is the resonance of the universe. He succeeded in breaking through. Someone exclaimed. The hearts of the others were beating wildly. Legend had it that the universe would resonate when one broke through to the origin realm. The stars would shine as if they were cheering. Just now, such a phenomenon had appeared. This was enough to show that Long Fan had succeeded in breaking through. If he failed, he would not resonate with the universe. Origin was the most fundamental thing in the universe. Once one broke through and controlled the origin, one's lifespan would coexist with the universe. Every action would be closely related to the universe. Therefore, it could cause the universe to resonate. It was said that when someone in the origin realm died, the universe would also resonate. Long Fan was enveloped by the endless rays of light from all over the universe. These rays of light all merged into Long Fan's body in the end, forming a golden mark between Long Fan's eyebrows. The golden imprint flashed and disappeared. After controlling an origin, Long Fan has officially become an over-god. Fei Huang smiled faintly. Chapter 44-43. Long Fan had officially stepped into the origin realm, and the Heaven Destroyer had gained another peak powerhouse. This made the people of the Heaven Destroyer overjoyed. Some were happy, while others were sad. The people of the heavenly human tribe had gloomy expressions. In particular, the Divine Lord existences looked at Long Fan with complicated expressions. They were originally in the same realm as Long Fan. Although Long Fan was strong, they were on the same level. But now, Long Fan had leaped through the Dragon's Gate and reached the origin realm in one fell swoop. He was no longer someone they could compare to. As long as the origin realm was not killed, they could live as long as the universe. As long as the universe was not destroyed, the origin realm would not be destroyed. Only when the epoch changed and the universe was destroyed would the origin realm be destroyed. This was the ultimate goal of countless beings in the universe. No matter how strong the Divine Lord was, they could not withstand a single blow from the origin realm. Slowly, the cosmic phenomenon disappeared. Long Fan's aura stabilized, and his body returned to its normal size. He opened his eyes. His gaze was like a divine sword that pierced through the void. Then, he took a step forward and rushed out of the area covered by the light barrier, appearing beside Fei Huang and the others. He had broken through and reached the origin realm. He had lost the right to continue comprehending the origin realm. Long Fan, congratulations. Fei Huang, the third demon sword, and the others came to congratulate him with smiles. I would also like to thank all of you for your help and support. Long Fan clasped his fist in return. He was very polite, but his expression was more relaxed. He was not as restrained as before. He was only a divine lord in the past. Although he had lived for countless years, he was much older than Fei Huang and the others. But cultivation knew that those who reached the origin realm were the seniors. Fei Huang and the others were far above him. In the past, he had to be respectful in front of Fei Huang and the others. Now, there was no need. He was also in the same realm. He could talk to them as equals. Time passed slowly amidst the congratulations from the Heaven Destroyer. Soon, the scene returned to calm. They continued to wait. 10 years passed in the blink of an eye. Buzz. At this moment, the Taishang Immortal City trembled slightly. Mysterious patterns flashed on it. Then, the light barrier that covered Lu Ming and the others disappeared. The lotus flowers under the feet of Lu Ming and the others also disappeared. Initially, Lu Ming was focused on comprehending the origin in the universe C. All of a sudden, he felt a powerful force pulling him toward a certain direction. The speed was beyond his imagination. Before Lu Ming could react, he felt his body tremble. He couldn't help but open his eyes. He was back. Lu Ming found that he had already left the cosmic sea and returned to the primitive universe, returning to the sky above the highest supreme immortal city. 950 years have passed. So fast. Lu Ming's heart stirred. When he was cultivating in cosmic ocean, he could not feel the passage of time at all. He felt that he had only been cultivating for a short period of time. Unexpectedly, more than 900 years had passed. How is your comprehension of the origin source coming along? With a thought, Lu Ming quickly used his inner perception to check the situation. In the next moment, he discovered a bright ball of light in his divine sense. This was a round bead about the size of a longan fruit. It was neither gold nor stone, and it was circulating with a mysterious aura. Origin source. Lu Ming sensed it and knew that the aura circulating on the longan fruit was the aura of the origin source. It was very dense and condensed. Origin source seed, this was the origin source seed. Lu Ming was overjoyed. He had condensed the origin source seed. On the origin source seed, the power of the origin source turned into countless tiny threads that flowed through Lu Ming's body, nourishing Lu Ming and improving Lu Ming at all times. With the nourishment of the origin source, Lu Ming could come into contact with the origin source at all times. This was very helpful for his future cultivation. When he broke through from the Divine Master realm to the origin realm, the help would be even greater. It was equivalent to having a foundation in advance. It would naturally be much easier for him to break through than others. Lu Ming's mind stirred and he began to control the origin source seed. Immediately, the power of the origin source seed poured into Lu Ming's hands. Lu Ming had a feeling that his hands were now filled with terrifying destructive power. The power of the origin source seed can be used to attack. That's great. Lu Ming was overjoyed. But soon, Lu Ming calmed down. After all, this was just an origin source seed. The power of the origin source it contained was very little. Even if it could be used to attack, Lu Ming estimated that it could only be used for one attack. After one attack, the power of the origin source seed would be exhausted and need to slowly recover. Therefore, this could not be used as a common method to fight enemies. It could only be used as a trump card at a critical moment. However, even if it only had the power for one attack, Lu Ming was still secretly delighted. This was the power of the origin source. How powerful was the power that only people at the level of a heavenly venerable lord and a Xinyuan venerable could control? Lu Ming was very curious about how powerful this attack would be. He was also looking forward to it. Unfortunately, he could not try it now. However, Lu Ming was sure that it would definitely be much more terrifying than his current strongest attack. Otherwise, how could he live up to the name, origin source? Collecting his thoughts, Lu Ming looked around. Yi Qiuxian, Xian Yanqing, Qiu Qiu Moon and the others had already woken up. Like Lu Ming, they all checked with their inner senses. Most of them smiled after checking it out. However, there were also a few people who looked gloomy and even wailed. I didn't get anything. My origin source seed. Where's the origin source seed? Ah, did I fail to comprehend it? Impossible, impossible. No, this is not the result I wanted. No, some people wailed and wailed. Clearly, these people had failed to comprehend the origin source seed and did not condense it. They had fought so hard in hopes of condensing the origin source seed and increasing their potential. Not only did they want to reach the Divine Master realm in the future, but they also wanted to comprehend the origin source realm. However, they had failed to condense the origin source seed. Like the others, it would not be so easy for them to reach the origin source realm in the future. They had originally held great hope, but it turned into despair in the end. This difference was unbearable for these people. Let's go. Let's go near Senior Fei Huang and the others. Lu Ming sent a message to Xian Yanqing, Qiu Moon and the others. Then, they all flew toward Fei Huang and the others. Now, they were still within the range of the Taishang Immortal City. Everyone was suppressed. The people of the heavenly human tribe naturally did not dare to make a move. However, 1,000 years had passed. The Taishang Immortal City could leave at any time. At that time, the people of the heavenly human tribe would probably make a move. Therefore, they could only guarantee their safety by going to Fei Huang and the others. Lu Ming, let's meet again in the future. Brother Lu Ming, I'll find a chance to see you in the future. Dandan and Bubbles did not follow Lu Ming and the others. Instead, they sent a message to Lu Ming and returned to the experts of their respective races. The World Turtle Clan and the Spacetime Spirit Mouse Clan naturally sent experts. Chapter 44-44. After all, Dandan and Bubbles had their own races. With their ties, they couldn't brazenly follow Lu Ming and the others. Otherwise, it would implicate their entire race. On the second floor of the Supreme Immortal City, they had already gone overboard by helping Lu Ming. At that time, the Heavenly Palace would probably punish the two races. Dandan, Bubbles, if there's anything else, send me a message as soon as possible. Lu Ming replied via sound transmission. All right. Dandan and Bubbles nodded. Ling Yue also remained silent as she arrived near the experts of the Elf Clan. When the experts of the Elf Clan saw Ling Yue, they were all overjoyed and bowed respectfully. They had all seen Ling Yue's previous performance. 11 stars of battle strength. This was equivalent to the level of the Heavenly Daughter of Heaven. In the entire universe's Heaven's Chosen list, only Ling Heng, who was ranked first, had such battle strength. Now that Ling Yue had comprehended the origin seed, it was very likely that she would break through to the origin realm in the future. Once the Elf Clan had an origin realm expert overseeing it, their status and strength would skyrocket. At that time, even if they couldn't enter the top 10 races, they would still be close. However, Ling Yue was expressionless as she casually nodded her head. The others also left one after another and returned to their respective races. The people of the celestial race also returned to the side of the experts of the celestial race. Lord Heavenly Sovereigns, this junior has failed you. Yi Chu Tianji came in front of the Empyreans and said with his head lowered. His face was fiery red, and he didn't dare to look at the Empyreans' faces. Before entering the Supreme Immortal City, he had once boasted in front of the Empyreans that he would easily suppress Lu Ming. Once he met Lu Ming, he would kill Lu Ming. But in the end. However, he had been killed by Lu Ming in public and on the fighting ring. It was a disgrace to the heavenly human tribe. With such a huge contrast, he was so ashamed that he wanted to die. He didn't have the face to meet the Empyreans. Work hard in the future. The Empyreans said a few words indifferently and didn't say anything else. The tone was very cold. Clearly, the few Empyreans were all very unhappy. Yi Chutian's heart sank as he roared in his heart, Lu Ming, it's all your fault, it's all your fault, damn it, Wang. At this moment, the Supreme Immortal City shook again, and it was even more intense than before. They were about to leave the highest Supreme Immortal City. Everyone's heart trembled. 60 solar years ago, they had already experienced it once. Once the 1,000 years were up, the Supreme Immortal City would break through space and enter the ruins of the universe. They would wander around the ruins of the universe and no one would be able to find them. Who knew how long it would be before he would appear again? Let's go out first. Fei Huang opened her mouth, her voice ringing in the ears of every heaven destroyer. Then, they flew in one direction, intending to leave the range of the Grand Supreme Immortal City before returning to the universe ruins. As soon as Fei Huang and the others moved, the heavenly human tribe looked over. "Follow them, don't let them go," an old celestial lord shouted in a low voice. His voice rang in the ears of the people in the heavenly palace, including some of the other powerful tribes. As soon as the voice fell, the heavenly venerables of the heavenly human tribe moved and followed behind Lu Ming and the others. Then, the Divine Master Realm experts followed closely behind. Are they going to attack the Heaven Destroyer? Follow them. Let's follow them too. The experts of the other tribes, such as the top 10 tribes, and the Divine Master Realm experts of these tribes also followed closely behind the heavenly human tribe, intending to attack the people of the Heaven Destroyer. The people of the World Turtle and the Spacetime Spirit Rat clan did not move. Are you really going to help Lu Ming deal with the prodigies of the heavenly human tribe in the Grand Supreme Immortal City? An old man of the World Turtle clan asked Dandan and Bubbles. That's right. Lu Ming used to be with me after all. When he was in danger, I couldn't just sit back and do nothing. I couldn't help but make a move. Dandan said. If Big Brother Lu Ming is in danger, of course I have to make a move. I have to do it even if it means risking my life. Bubbles nodded repeatedly. This made the experts of the World Turtle clan and the Spacetime Spirit Rat clan look very serious. The people of the heavenly human tribe are very narrow-minded, especially when it comes to the taboo body. I'm afraid it won't end so easily. We have to think about it carefully. It's not good to stay here for long. Let's go back as soon as possible and discuss this with the Patriarch and the others. That's right. Let's leave now. The experts of the World Turtle clan and the Spacetime Spirit Rat clan spoke one after another. Then, they took the backs of the two clans and set off, rushing in another direction. Now, the people of the heavenly human tribe were all focused on the Heaven Destroyer. How could they care about the World Turtle clan and the Spacetime Spirit Rat clan? They quickly left the area covered by the Grand Supreme Immortal City and flew toward the star field where the two clans were located. No one paid attention to them. When the two clans left, several experts of the elf tribe followed the people of the heavenly human tribe to kill Lu Ming and the others. Elders, don't go, Ling Yue wanted to stop the elders of the elf tribe. Princess, that Lu Ming is Mu Yun, and you were once very close to him. The heavenly human tribe will definitely blame us. Now is the best time for us to show our loyalty and render meritorious service. This time, we can dispel the doubts of the heavenly human tribe. This is a major matter that concerns the entire race. That's right. Princess, just stay here and don't move. We'll take care of everything. The elders of the elf tribe left behind a few words and followed the heavenly human tribe. Ling Yue opened her mouth to speak, but in the end, she didn't say anything. The heavenly human tribe really won't let this go. Among the Heaven Destroyer crowd, Fei Huang whispered. So what if they won't let this go? Don't tell me we're afraid of them. Our combat strength is not weaker than theirs. Now that we have Long Fan as a general, how can they stop us? At most, we'll just fight. The third demon sword Dao was full of fighting spirit. His gaze swept towards Yelu Shenxiang behind him, filled with killing intent. Yelu Shenxiang's gaze swept towards the third demon sword, also filled with killing intent. Our performance this time was too outstanding. Lu Ming, Shao Qin, Wan Shen, Autumn Moon and the others are all peerless geniuses. Their overall potential is greater than that of the younger generation of the heavenly human tribe. They definitely won't let us go and will do whatever it takes to get rid of Lu Ming and the others, especially Lu Ming. So, it's better to be careful. I reckon they have other experts in the dark. Fei Huang said. The others also looked solemn and sped up. However, the experts of the heavenly palace followed closely behind them, maintaining a certain distance. Soon, the people of the Heaven Destroyer left the area covered by the Taishang Immortal City. As soon as they left the area covered by the Taishang Immortal City, their cultivation was completely restored without the suppression of the Taishang Immortal City. Kang! A terrifying sword intent rushed out of the third demon sword. Then, a battle sword flew out and expanded rapidly. With a wave of Fei Huang's hand, a black lotus appeared, and it quickly grew bigger. The white-haired elder also summoned a towering tree. Chapter 44-45. The Heaven Destroyer had a total of 7 Origin Realm cultivators when they arrived. Now, including Long Fan, there were 8 Origin Realm cultivators. They all took out their treasures. "Come up, quick!" Fei Huang shouted. All those below reciprocity charged toward the huge weapons. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Qiu Moon, Wan Shen, and the others all charged into Fei Huang's Black Lotus. A wave of energy enveloped them. After everyone entered the weapons, the 8 Origin Realm cultivators broke through the void and tried to leave. However, they didn't get far before the space around them began to tremble and collapse. "Stay!" An old voice rang out. Several terrifying attacks swept toward Fei Huang and the others from the dark void. These attacks were extremely terrifying. They were definitely the attacks of Origin Realm cultivators. "Humph, 3 Origin Realm cultivators want to stop us? Break!" Third demon sword shouted and slashed out. A vast sword light flew out and blocked one of the attacks. The other Origin Realm cultivators also took action and blocked the remaining attacks. "It's enough to stop you for a moment." The void in front of them constantly exploded, revealing a pitch-black space. In the pitch-black space, several huge figures could be vaguely seen. Without a doubt, they were the celestial exalts of the Heavenly Palace. At this moment, the Taishang Immortal City trembled again. It was enveloped in a dazzling light and then flew away with a whoosh. It disappeared into the vast universe. The suppression of the Taishang Immortal City disappeared without a trace. The people of the Heavenly Palace immediately recovered their strength. "Traitors, you can't leave. Stay!" Yelu Shengxiang roared. The golden armor on his body shone brightly as he stabbed out with his golden spear. Whoosh! The golden spear pierced through the void and stabbed toward third demon sword. "Good, I'll kill you this time." Third demon sword shouted, revealing a powerful battle intent. He swung his sword at Yelu Shengxiang. A demon sword cut through the starry sky and clashed with the golden spear. Boom! A shocking explosion took place as the 2 figures were knocked backward. "Third, don't get caught up in the battle. Leave this place first to avoid being surrounded." Flying Phoenix against the third demon. Right now, the Heavenly Palace had more reciprocity experts than them. If they were surrounded, they would be in trouble. "Yelu Shengxiang, I'll let you go this time, but I'll kill you next time." The third devil sword shouted, no longer attacking Yelu Shengxiang. Instead, he cooperated with Fei Huang and the others, rushing forward. Up ahead, only 3 reciprocity experts from the Heavenly Palace had appeared. With the 8 of them working together, it was not difficult for them to charge out. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, the 8 reciprocity experts struck out together. 8 attacks shot forward, creating an earth-shaking scene. The entire cosmos shook. Some of the nearby stars were also exploding. However, the 3 reciprocity experts of the Heavenly Palace remained motionless in the dark space. They did not seem to be worried at all against the attacks of 8 reciprocity experts. The next moment, a few more figures appeared behind them. There were a total of 5 figures, all of them extremely majestic with shocking auras. 5 more reciprocity experts had appeared. Including the 3 from before, there were 8 of them. The expressions of Fei Huang, the third demon sword, and the others changed drastically. The 8 reciprocity experts from the Heavenly Palace had struck out, successfully blocking the attacks of Fei Huang and the others. "Ha ha ha, traitors, I told you, you won't be able to leave today." Yelu Xinxiang laughed as he chased from behind. Behind them, there were 7 reciprocity experts from the Heavenly Palace. On the Heavenly Palace's side, there were a total of 15 reciprocity experts, surrounding them. This made Fei Huang, the third demon sword, and the others extremely solemn. 15 reciprocity experts was almost twice as many as them. Moreover, they did not know if there were any extremely powerful reciprocity experts among them. If there were, they would be in danger. Most importantly, Fei Huang was only a soul clone. Her battle prowess was not very strong. She could only barely reach reciprocity with the help of a powerful divine weapon. In addition, Long Fan had only just reached reciprocity. Among reciprocity experts, his cultivation was the weakest. As a result, their situation became even more dire. "Let's go all out." The third demon sword's eyes shone with a fierce light as his sword hummed continuously. The others also pushed their strength to the limit. "Kill! Kill!" The experts from the Heavenly Palace struck out. 15 reciprocity experts struck out together. 15 attacks shot toward Fei Huang and the others. "Let's work together and focus on defense," Fei Huang said. Rays of light blossomed from the hands of Fei Huang and the others. It was not an offensive technique, but a defensive one. They were at a disadvantage in terms of numbers. They were definitely not a match for them in a direct confrontation. If they focused on defense and waited for an opportunity to break out, they still had a chance of winning. Rays of light enveloped Fei Huang and the others. In the next moment, the 15 attacks fell. Boom boom boom, terrifying explosions rang out as large swathes of the starry sky were annihilated by the terrifying power. The surrounding galaxy was instantly swept away. The stars in the galaxy exploded and the stars were extinguished. In just an instant, a vast galaxy was destroyed. Fortunately, this place was close to the universe ruins and the conditions were too harsh. There were almost no living creatures in this galaxy. Otherwise, who knew how many creatures would have died in that attack? With a series of explosions, the defense formed by Fei Huang and the others shook violently before exploding. The 8 of them retreated rapidly. The weaker ones, such as Long Fan, coughed up large mouthfuls of blood. Fei Huang's body also dimmed. She was almost annihilated. "Oh no, there's a late reciprocity expert among them." An reciprocity expert from the Heaven Destroyer exclaimed. After reaching reciprocity, the division of cultivation realms was completely different from before. For example, reciprocity was generally divided into early reciprocity, mid-reciprocity, late reciprocity. The gap between each level was extremely huge. In the primitive universe, ordinary reciprocity experts were at early reciprocity. Those who could reach mid-reciprocity were few and far between. For example, the third demon sword was at mid-reciprocity. This time, the strongest of the 8 from the Heaven Destroyer was at mid-reciprocity. There were a total of 3. The others were all at early reciprocity. Of course, Fei Huang did not count. She was only a soul clone, so it was very difficult to measure her cultivation realm. However, there were late reciprocity experts from the Heavenly Palace this time. Earlier, it was these late reciprocity experts who had taken action that had destroyed their defense in a single stroke. This time, all of you will stay behind. This time, the heavens are really on our side. As long as we kill these people, the Heaven Destroyer will suffer heavy losses. Our foundation will be shaken, and we will lose all of our future strength. The day of our destruction will be near. Attack with your full strength. The reciprocity experts from the Heavenly Palace were filled with intense killing intent as they pushed their strength to the limit. Chapter 44-46. The reciprocity experts of the Heavenly Palace circulated their origin energy and pushed their battle prowess to the limit. Every single one of them used their trump cards to attack Fei Huang, the third demon sword, and the others. This was an excellent opportunity. As long as they got rid of Fei Huang, the third demon sword, and the others, the Heaven Destroyer would definitely suffer heavy losses. 8 reciprocity experts, no, 7 reciprocity experts, to be more precise. Fei Huang was only a soul clone after all. Her true body was not here. 7 reciprocity experts were enough to make the Heaven Destroyer suffer heavy losses. The most important ones were the younger generation. Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, Qiu Qiuyu, Wan Shen, and the others. Every single one of these people was extremely terrifying. Once they reached major achievement, they would definitely become extremely terrifying experts. They would pose a great threat to the Heavenly Palace. As long as they got rid of these people, the threat of the Heaven Destroyer would be greatly reduced. Then, once Yi Qiuxian reached major achievement, he would be able to destroy the Heaven Destroyer in one fell swoop and repel the demons. He would truly unify the primitive universe. At that time, the vast ruins of the universe would belong to the Heavenly Palace. Thinking of this, the experts of the Heavenly Palace became fired up. When they attacked, they became even more powerful. Oh no! The expressions of the third demon sword, Long Fan, and the others changed drastically. They could not withstand the previous wave of attacks. Some of them had even been injured. However, this wave of attacks was even more powerful and targeted. For example, the terrifying late reciprocity expert of the Heavenly Palace had directly targeted Long Fan and the other weakest people. They wanted to defeat them one by one. They would first kill the weaker ones before dealing with the stronger ones. A terrifying attack shot toward Long Fan. It belonged to a late reciprocity expert. Another attack was aimed at Fei Huang. The late reciprocity expert had launched a total of 2 attacks. Even if Long Fan and Fei Huang were in peak condition, they would not be able to withstand a single attack from a late reciprocity expert, let alone the fact that they had already been injured in the first wave. The situation had suddenly become extremely dangerous. At this moment, a jade talisman appeared in Fei Huang's hand. With a bang, Fei Huang crushed the jade talisman. The jade talisman exploded, turning into a dazzling light that dissipated. And within the dissipating light, many figures appeared. Flying phoenixes, they were all flying phoenixes. The figures that appeared were all flying phoenixes. There were a total of 36 figures, each of them emitting a powerful aura. Soul incarnation? You actually have so many soul incarnations? How is this possible? An Empyrean exclaimed. Fei Huang didn't answer because her 36 incarnations quickly rushed to the soul incarnation at the front and fused together. Following the fusion of the soul incarnation, Fei Huang's aura began to skyrocket. Early reciprocity, peak early reciprocity, mid reciprocity. In the end, when the 36 soul clones fused into one, her presence reached late reciprocity in a single stroke. His aura had increased exponentially. This process seemed to take a long time, but it all happened in an instant. In the blink of an eye, Fei Huang completed the fusion, and then slapped out 2 palms. 2 pitch-black palms shot out, colliding with the attack of the late reciprocity expert from the Heavenly Palace, blocking his attack. Fei Huang, you actually have 36 soul incarnations with you. Ordinary people can only create a few soul incarnations at most, yet you have so many. Aren't you afraid of harming your foundation? The late reciprocity expert from the Heavenly Palace said coldly. He had white hair and a face full of wrinkles. He was extremely old. His name was Yi Chu Zhengyang, and he was an ancestor of the Celestial Clan. He had lived for countless years, and it was said that he had once participated in the war against the primitive gods. Many primitive gods had died at his hands. You're just ignorant. Do you think everyone is mediocre? Fei Huang's cold voice rang out. Her presence was unparalleled, and her body was so condensed that it was impossible to tell that she was a soul incarnation. Bang! She took a step forward, and a terrifying aura swept out like a wave. The two Empyrean exalts who were closer to her trembled and were forced back by the aura. The difference between each level of the reciprocity realm was extremely great. It was impossible to resist. However, Yi Chu Zhengyang's aura erupted and blocked Fei Huang's aura. Fei Huang, you're just a soul incarnation in the end. Even if you forcefully raise your cultivation to late reciprocity, how much of your strength can you use? Scorching Sun Finger, kill! Yi Chu Zhengyang roared and clawed at Fei Huang with his hands. At that moment, the tips of his 10 fingers shone brightly. One could see that there were suns emerging from the tips of his 10 fingers. Yes, suns. Each of his fingertips had a sun that shone with resplendent light. The power of each sun was probably thousands of times greater than the stars in the universe. This was because they were completely condensed from the power of the heavenly tribulation. The power of the heavenly tribulation could only be condensed into an attack like this. From the outside, it was impossible to see the lightning formed by the power of the heavenly tribulation. This could only be achieved by someone who had an extremely profound control over the power of the heavenly tribulation. Yi Chu Zhengyang's claw became extremely large as he grabbed at Fei Huang. This was an extremely terrifying attack. A single sun condensed from the power of the heavenly tribulation contained enough power to destroy the world. Once it exploded, it could destroy an entire galaxy. Demonic tribulation finger. Fei Huang said softly. She extended 2 slender fingers and jabbed out 10 times in a row. Swish! 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 10 consecutive bursts of energy shot out and collided with Yi Chu Zhengyang's attack. The entire region was turned upside down. The stars trembled. It was an extremely shocking scene. There was a black lotus beneath Fei Huang's feet. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Qiu Qiuyu, and the others were protected by the lotus. They could clearly see everything that was happening outside. Lu Ming and many others were shaken by this battle. They found it difficult to remain calm. It was just too terrifying. It was just too powerful. This was a battle between reciprocity realm cultivators. The strength was simply unimaginable. When existences at this level fought wildly, it would cause devastating damage to the universe. If there were too many of these existences, they might really be able to destroy the universe. It was no wonder that the boundless Eldritch continent had been destroyed in the last epoch. There were probably too many experts participating in this battle. Many people showed an expression of endless yearning. This was the goal of cultivation. If they could reach this level, how great would it be? After Fei Huang and Yi Chu Zhengyang exchanged a blow, they continued to fight and exchanged dozens of blows. The others avoided the area where the two of them were fighting. They did not dare to approach. In another direction, the third demon sword and the others gathered together to block the attacks of the other people from the heavenly palace. They defended with all their strength and could hold on for a while. However, as time went on, it would definitely be very disadvantageous for them. Chapter 44-47. Time ticked by, and in the blink of an eye, a few minutes had passed. Fei Huang and Yi Chu Zhengyang were locked in battle. The third demon sword and the others were at a disadvantage. Their opponents outnumbered them, and even if they focused on defense, they would not be able to hold on for long. Third demon sword, your fate has come to an end, prepare to die. Yi Lui Shengxiang roared, and his golden spear continued to attack. The sky was filled with golden spear shadows, and they were constantly attacking the third demon sword and the others. The third demon sword waved his sword, and he did not expect to win, but he did not want to make any mistakes. He used his sword as a shield, and it turned into a heavy sword shield that blocked the attacks of Yi Chu Shenxiang and the others. Yi Chu Shenxiang, you're just relying on your advantage in numbers. If we fight one-on-one, I will definitely kill you. The third demon sword shouted coldly. This is not a competition, this is a war. Third demon sword, die. Yi Lui Shengxiang shouted, and he stopped attacking. Instead, he retreated quickly, and the golden spear in his hand was replaced by a long spear. It was a grey long spear that looked like it was polished from stone. It did not have any beauty, but it exuded a terrifying aura. Fei Huang, the third demon sword, and the others' faces changed when they saw the long spear. Sky Destroyer Spear. The third demon sword's face changed drastically, and he shouted in shock. That was because the long spear's origin was too great. Legend had it that the long spear was one of the heavenly human tribe's ancestral artifacts. It had followed the heavenly human tribe through their entire history, and it had killed countless experts. It was said that the Sky Destroyer Force, one of the heavenly human tribe's four strongest heavenly forces, was comprehended from the Sky Destroyer Spear. The heavenly human tribe actually used the Sky Destroyer Spear to deal with us. The third demon sword's face was extremely solemn. There was no doubt that the Sky Destroyer Spear was one of the most terrifying weapons in the universe. So, you should feel honored to die under the Sky Destroyer Spear. Yi Lui Shengxiang said coldly, and the Sky Destroyer force was injected into the Sky Destroyer Spear. Buzz! The Sky Destroyer Spear shook slightly, and an incomparably terrifying aura exuded from it. It was a destructive aura. The power contained within it was very similar to the Heavenly Extermination Force. However, it was much more terrifying than the Heavenly Extermination Force. Die! Yelu Shengxiang shouted, thrusting out his long spear at the third devil sword. Not good. Before the attack arrived, the third demon sword felt a fatal crisis. His entire body was locked down. Even if he wanted to escape, it would be difficult. Most importantly, there were many other masters from the heavenly palace surrounding them. They couldn't escape even if they wanted to. Third, defend with all your might, shouted Fei Huang. Seizing the opportunity, she pointed out with her finger. A finger energy shot towards the Sky Extermination Spear at an astonishing speed. His finger strike landed on the Sky Extermination Spear. Clang! The Sky Extermination Spear shook violently. Fei Huang was currently at late reciprocity after all. Her attack was extremely powerful. Although it failed to block the Apocalypse Spear completely, it did weaken a portion of its power. Take care of yourself, yelled Yi Chu Zhengyang. Seizing the opportunity, he attacked Fei Huang, causing her body to sway. Her body almost exploded, and her light dimmed a lot. She was now a soul incarnation, not a body of flesh and blood, so she wouldn't vomit blood. However, her body's light dimmed, which was similar to vomiting blood, indicating that she was injured. The Sky Extermination Spear continued to stab the third demon sword with its remaining power. Nine-layered sword shield, roared the third demon sword. He attacked with all his strength. Endless sword light burst out, forming a nine-layered sword shield in front of him. As soon as the sword shield was formed, the Sky Extermination Spear arrived, stabbing into the sword shield. Puff! 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 The nine-layered sword shield couldn't withstand the Sky Extermination Spear's attack. It was pierced through one after another. In the blink of an eye, the nine-layered sword shield was completely pierced. The terrifying Sky Extermination Spear stabbed the third demon sword. Ah! The third demon sword cried out miserably as his body was blown away. He saw that the third demon sword's chest had been pierced through, leaving behind a large hole. This wasn't the most terrifying thing. The most terrifying thing was that the terrifying power contained in the Sky Extermination Spear had entered the third demon sword's body and was crazily destroying his body. The large hole in his chest was expanding at a speed visible to the naked eye. It was being destroyed by the power. The third demon sword roared as he used all his strength to resist the terrifying power. In the end, the third demon sword paid a heavy price to resist the power. However, his body was gone. It was completely destroyed by the power of the Sky Extermination Spear. Only his head was left, and his aura was extremely weak. In one move, the third demon sword was severely injured. He only had his head left, and he no longer had the strength to fight. The power of the Sky Extermination Spear was truly astonishing. Moreover, the Sky Extermination Spear's power had been weakened by Fei Huang. Only then did it manage to pierce the third demon sword. Otherwise, the third demon sword wouldn't have been able to resist this move. He would have been turned into ashes. The Sky Extermination Spear was indeed worthy of being one of the heavenly human tribe's strongest ancestral artifacts. Yi Lu Shenxiang, who was originally on the same level as the third demon sword, used it to suppress the third demon sword. Inside the lotus, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and the others were filled with worry. They couldn't wait to go out and fight. Lu Ming and the third demon sword could be considered as life and death friends. It was the third demon sword who had brought him out of the heavenly palace's prison. The third demon sword was Xian Yanqing's senior brother in his previous life. Although Xian Yanqing had the upper hand in this life, he still had the memories of his previous life. He still had some feelings for the third demon sword. At this moment, he was naturally very worried. Yi Lu Shenxiang was a little unhappy that he didn't kill the third demon sword in one move. He was holding one of the heavenly human tribe's strongest ancestral artifacts, the Sky Extermination Spear. He originally thought that he could easily kill the third demon sword with one move, but he didn't expect the third demon sword to survive. This made him feel ashamed. Third demon sword, the next move is to kill you. Go to hell. Yi Lu Shenxiang roared. His Sky Extermination power surged into the Sky Extermination Spear, wanting to activate the Sky Extermination Spear to kill the third demon sword once and for all. If you dare to kill him, I'll let you die. Right at this moment, a chilly voice suddenly resounded from the distant starry sky. When the voice first came out, it sounded very far away, but when the last word came out, it sounded very close. Swish! A golden sword light erupted from the starry space. The sword light traversed the starry space, spanning hundreds of millions of li, vast and boundless, slashing towards Yi Lu Shenxiang. Yi Lu Shenxiang's expression froze. Subconsciously, he swung the Sky Extermination Spear to block the attack. With a loud clang, the sword light collided with the Sky Extermination Spear. Yi Lu Shenxiang's body shook, and he couldn't help retreating. Then, a young man appeared in the starry space. Chapter 44-48. A young man appeared in the starry sky. He looked very young and very handsome. It was not an exaggeration to say that he was handsome. He was dressed in white and carried a long sword on his back. He also held a golden longsword in his hand. That's the second divine sword. Xian Yanqing exclaimed from the lotus. The second divine sword? Lu Ming was puzzled. That's right. In my previous life, Tang Qing's father had 3 direct disciples. They were the first divine sword, second divine sword, and third demon sword. They were all peerless geniuses of the sword. Xian Yanqing explained. Hiss. Lu Ming sucked in a breath of cold air. Xian Yanqing's father in his previous life was his father-in-law. The 3 disciples of this cheap father-in-law were actually so terrifying. The third demon sword was in existence in the origin realm. Now that the second divine sword had appeared, it went without saying that he was also in existence in the origin realm. Moreover, from the sword just now, he seemed to be even stronger than the third demon sword. Then, what about the first divine sword? Was he also in existence in the origin realm? The three disciples were all existences in the origin realm. This was too unbelievable. The origin realm was not a cabbage. It was the overlord of the universe, the peak battle strength of the universe. If the disciples were so powerful, then as the master, how powerful would he be? Lu Ming was more and more curious about this cheap father-in-law. During this period, he had also heard some stories about this cheap father-in-law. It was said that this cheap father-in-law also came from a small world. In the end, his name shook the primitive universe and he was called the Forbidden Sword Ancestor. His cultivation had reached an unfathomable level. Second senior brother, you're here. That's great. Seeing the second divine sword, the third demon sword was overjoyed. Second divine sword, I didn't expect you to also appear. Heaven Destroyer only sent you here alone? Yellow Xinxiang said as he looked around, as if he was looking for the person lying in ambush. Yi Chu Zhengyang and the other experts of the Heavenly Palace did the same. Their spiritual sense permeated every inch of the universe to prevent an ambush. You don't need to look for me. Today, I came alone. The second divine sword. What? Hearing this, the faces of the third devil sword, Long Fan, and the others fell, and their hearts sank. What was the use of the second divine sword coming alone? Although the second sword's battle prowess was great, he was only at mid-reciprocity. He could not reverse the situation at all. Only Fei Huang's eyes flickered. She glanced at the sword on the back of the second divine sword thoughtfully. You came alone? Yellow Xingxiang and the other heavenly human tribe experts were also stunned. However, they did not find any other Heaven Destroyer members around them. The Heaven Destroyer had only sent the second godly sword? Or was it that the second divine sword happened to be nearby and noticed the situation and rushed over? Second divine sword, you actually dared to come here alone? Then die with your junior brother. At least you'll have company. Yi Lu Xinxiang said coldly, continuing to channel the heavenly extermination force into the heavenly extermination spear. The sky extermination spear was activated once again, emitting a terrifying aura. I alone am enough. The second divine sword smiled faintly, extremely calm. Shameless boasting, second divine sword, I don't care what tricks you have up your sleeves. In front of absolute power, only death awaits. Sky extermination spear, kill. Yellow Xingxiang roared, channeling the sky extermination spear with all his might. The sky extermination spear trembled, emitting an even more terrifying aura. It then turned into a ray of light, stabbing at the second divine sword. Yellow Xingxiang's furious attack had activated the sky extermination spear's terrifying power. It was even stronger than the one he had used on the third demon sword. Senior brother, be careful. Second divine sword, dodge. The third demon sword and the others roared. Within the lotus, Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, and the others could not help but feel their hearts in their mouths. The sky extermination spear was extremely fast, piercing through the boundless starry sky in the blink of an eye. It was about to hit the second divine sword. However, the second divine sword remained calm, standing in the starry sky without any intention of fighting back. Clang! At this moment, a sword chime rang out, instantly spreading across several star regions. In these star regions, all living beings heard this sword chime. This sword chime came from the battle sword on the second divine sword's back. At this moment, the battle sword automatically flew out of its sheath, piercing through space. It was a very ordinary-looking battle sword, similar to the iron sword used by ordinary martial artists. Its color was dull, and it looked very ordinary. However, an incomparably terrifying sword light burst out from it. Swoosh! The ordinary battle sword slashed at the void, accurately hitting the Sky Extermination Spear. Suddenly, the Sky Extermination Spear shook violently and flew back, crashing into Yelu Shengxiang's body. Yelu Shengxiang screamed, vomiting blood, and his face turned pale. Master! Seeing this sword, the third demon sword cried out excitedly. This aura, it's the Forbidden Sword Ancestor's aura. The other experts on the Heaven Destroyer's side were also overjoyed. Fei Huang's face also showed a smile. On the other hand, the people on the Heavenly Palace's side were shocked. What? It's the Forbidden Sword Ancestor, Tang Feng? Did Tang Feng come in person? He hasn't appeared for many years. It's said that he's in the depths of the universe ruins. Why would he suddenly come here? Is it for Lu Ming? Oh no, let's go. On the Heavenly Palace's side, more than a dozen Origin Realm experts were trembling in fear. They had no intention to fight at all. There was only one thought in their mind, and that was to escape. They wanted to escape even before they saw Tang Feng's shadow. Because they knew that they were no match for the Forbidden Sword Ancestor. The biggest possibility was that they would be killed by his sword. Don't worry, Tang Feng didn't come. It's just a sword. Yi Chu Zhengyang shouted, trying to calm the people down. However, everyone was still trembling in fear. Even if Tang Feng didn't come in person, his sword was still extremely terrifying. At this moment, the same thought appeared in their minds. That was, the second divine sword came with his master's sword. No wonder he dared to come alone and was fearless. It turned out that he had brought a powerful weapon. Don't panic, this is not Tang Feng's sword. It only contains a wisp of Tang Feng's aura. It can't be strong. If we work together, we will definitely be able to break it. Yi Chu Zhengyang shouted. Everyone sensed it carefully and found the problem. This battle sword was indeed a very ordinary battle sword. It was made of ordinary materials and was refined with ordinary methods. However, it contained a wisp of the Forbidden Sword Ancestor's aura. Long Fan and the others' hearts sank. It was just a wisp of Tang Feng's aura. Could it stop the people of the Heavenly Palace? A wisp of aura wants to stop us. Sky Destroyer Spear, destroy everything. Chapter 44-49. This time, Yelu Shengxiang went all out. He even burned his heavenly energy and poured it all into the Sky Annihilation Spear. This desperate method allowed the Sky Annihilation Spear to unleash even more power. Wang! The ancient Sky Annihilation Spear trembled slightly, as if a terrifying expert was awakening. Terrifying energy spread out from it, causing the space around the Sky Annihilation Spear to crumble and be annihilated. Who cares about the taboo sword ancestor? It's just a strand of aura. How dare it be so arrogant? Destroy it! Yelu Shengxiang roared and pushed his palm forward. Whoosh! The Sky Annihilation Spear turned into a beam of light and stabbed towards the second divine sword. It wanted to kill the taboo sword ancestor's aura along with the second divine sword. Clang! The sword, which contained the aura of the sword ancestor and looked like an ordinary Qingfeng sword, let out a sword cry again and slashed at the void. In the next moment, the taboo sword struck the Sky Annihilation Spear. Wang wang wang! The Sky Annihilation Spear trembled even more violently. The terrifying ripples turned the surrounding space into chaos. No one dared to stand still. The third demon sword, Long Fan, and the heavenly venerables of the heavenly human race all retreated far away. As for the heavenly human race and the divine lords of the other races, they retreated far away with their clansmen. This was no longer an ordinary battle between Origin Realm experts. It had escalated and was becoming more and more terrifying. It was not something a divine lord could interfere with. The Sky Annihilation Spear is losing. How could this be? The divine lords of the heavenly human race exclaimed in disbelief. Because at this moment, the Sky Annihilation Spear trembled violently and flew back towards Yelu Shengxiang. Yelu Shengxiang's expression changed drastically. He did not dare to take it head-on and dodged far away. Bang! Bang! The Sky Annihilation Spear flew across the vast space, passing through dozens of planets and causing them to explode one by one. Suddenly, the void split open and a withered hand reached out and grabbed the Sky Annihilation Spear. The Sky Annihilation Spear buzzed a few times before it was grasped by the hand. Then, the void split open and a figure appeared. This was a skinny old man. His golden hair had already turned white. Needless to say, he was also a heavenly human race expert. Another old monster. Fei Huang whispered. She could recognize that he was an old man who had lived for a very long time. He was also at late reciprocity and was extremely powerful. Moreover, he was most skilled in heavenly devastation force. His name was Yechu Zhengmie, and he was from the same generation as Yechu Zhengyang. The two of them had similar cultivation levels, but what they were good at was completely different. Yechu Zhengyang specialized in the power of heavenly punishment. On the other hand, Yechu Zhengmie specialized in heavenly annihilation power. Yechu Divine Spear, step back and let this old man do it. It's just a strand of Tang Feng's aura. Today, it will definitely be destroyed. As Yechu Zhengmie spoke, his entire body was enveloped by a gray power. This was the power of heavenly extermination. Yechu Divine Spear was also proficient in heavenly extermination power, but compared to Yechu Zhengyang, it was God knows how many times weaker. Boom! Under Yechu Zhengyang's control, the sky extermination energy erupted with a terrifying aura. Waves of terrifying energy gushed out of the Sky Extermination Spear continuously. Kill! Yechu Zhengyang shouted loudly. His originally shriveled body swelled up, and he looked a lot younger. He took a step forward and instantly crossed hundreds of millions of miles of the starry sky, rushing towards the Qingfeng sword. He brandished the Sky Extermination power and swept it towards the Qingfeng sword. Clang! The two collided once again. This time, the collision was far more powerful than before. The Qingfeng sword trembled and floated backwards. Yechu Zhengmie's body also shook violently. He held the Sky Extermination Spear in his hand and kept retreating. This attack seemed to be evenly matched. However, Yechu Zhengmie's face was incomparably solemn. This Qingfeng sword only contained a strand of Tang Feng's aura, but it was actually so powerful that it was far beyond his expectations. I don't believe it. Sky Extermination Spear, kill again. Yechu Zhengmie shouted. He fully controlled the Sky Extermination Spear to attack the Qingfeng sword. The others also continued to attack Fei Huang, the third demon sword, and the others. Fei Huang and the others were once again in danger. Fei Huang, don't be delusional. It's just a strand of Tang Feng's aura. It can't save you. Yechu Zhengyang sneered. While attacking Fei Huang, his attacks did not stop at all. In an instant, the two collided several times in a row, but there was no clear winner. At this moment, there was a flame burning on Fei Huang's body. She was burning her soul power. This was Fei Huang's soul incarnation. Burning her soul power had no effect on Fei Huang's body. She had no other choice. Previously, when she was saving the third demon sword, she was hit by Yechu Zhengyang and lost a lot of soul power, causing her strength to weaken. If she did not burn her soul power, she would not be the opponent's opponent. This was the only way to stop the opponent. On the other side, the third demon sword had lost his battle strength and was protected in the middle by the others. At the same time, the second demon sword joined in. However, on the heavenly human tribe's side, Yi Lu Shengqiang also did not have much battle strength left. Previously, when he controlled the Sky Extermination Spear, he had exchanged a few moves with the Qingfeng sword and suffered a lot of damage. At this moment, he could not exert much battle strength. Even so, the Heaven Extermination Spear's side still had a large number of people. If this continued, it was only a matter of time before they were defeated. Kill, kill, kill. Yi Chu Zhengmie was in a frenzy. He waved the Sky Extermination Spear and launched a frenzied attack on the Qingfeng sword. In just a short while, he had attacked the Qingfeng sword hundreds of times. The two sides clashed hundreds of times. However, they were both equally matched. Damn it! Yi Chu Zhengmie growled in his heart. He was even more shocked. Did this Qingfeng sword really only contain a wisp of Tang Feng's aura? How could a wisp of aura be so powerful? He even suspected that this battle sword was really Tang Feng's sword. Not only him, but Lu Ming and the others also had the same suspicion. If it was just a wisp of aura, then it was too terrifying. It's not a sword. It should be just a wisp of aura. It seems that he has become more powerful than before. Now, it's hard to predict, Xian Yinqing whispered. Lu Ming completely believed Xian Yinqing's words. Xian Yinqing's previous life was Tang Qing, Tang Feng's biological daughter. In this world, not many people knew Tang Feng better than him. If she said that it was just a wisp of aura, then it should be true. Of course, this also made Lu Ming and the others even more shocked. Buzz! At this moment, the Qingfeng sword vibrated even more violently. At the same time, a light shadow appeared on the Qingfeng sword. This light shadow was a human figure. It was just that this figure was very blurry. It could barely be seen that it was a man. His figure was tall and straight, but his specific appearance could not be seen clearly. Even his age could not be distinguished. However, when Xian Yinqing saw this figure, her delicate body trembled and she whispered, "It's him." Chapter 44-50. Master. Ha ha ha. It's Master. The third demon sword laughed loudly. The third demon sword had regrown its body, but its aura was still very weak. Sword Ancestor, Long Fan and the other reciprocity experts of the Heaven Destroyer were excited. On the other hand, those from the Heavenly Palace looked fearful. Even old monsters like Yichu Zhengyang and Yichu Zhengmie were the same. It was an instinctive reaction. It's just a strand of aura. Today, I'll completely obliterate it. Yichu Zhengmie roared as if he was cheering himself on. Then, he controlled the Sky Destroyer spear with all his might and attacked the Azure Edge sword again. Beside the Azure Edge sword, the figure grabbed the sword and slashed out. The slash seemed very ordinary. When it slashed through the air, it was only a flash of light that was several dozen meters long. It landed on the Sky Destroyer spear. Clang! A shocking sound rang out. Then, Yichu Zhengmie's expression changed drastically. His eyes were filled with shock and disbelief. This was because he felt an extremely powerful force pass through the Sky Destroyer spear and blast toward him. Next, the Sky Destroyer spear collided with his body. He spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was pale as he retreated rapidly. Spurt! 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 As he retreated, blood spurted out of his body. Wounds appeared one after another. These wounds were all sword wounds. They had almost cut him into pieces. He was heavily injured and his aura was weak. How is this possible? The other experts of the Heavenly Palace were also shocked. They were in disbelief. Yichu Zhengmie, who was at late reciprocity, had been heavily injured by a single slash. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, they would have found it hard to believe. If the taboo sword ancestor had come in person, it would have made sense. However, this was only a strand of his aura. It could not even be considered a clone or a clone. This was just too unbelievable. It was just too shocking. Just what level of cultivation was the taboo sword ancestor at? Not only were the people of the Heavenly Palace dumbfounded, but Lu Ming and the others were also dumbfounded. Even Xie Nianqing's eyes were filled with disbelief. Just what level of cultivation is he at now? Xie Nianqing muttered to himself. Master, ha ha ha, Master is indeed invincible. After the third demon sword trembled, it burst into laughter. At this moment, the illusory figure holding the Qingfeng sword appeared again. With a flash, he appeared in front of Yechu Zhengmia and slashed down with his sword. Not good. Yechu Zhengmia was shocked and retreated frantically. At the same time, he activated the Sky Extermination Spear with all his might, hoping to block his opponent's attack. Clang! Another earth-shattering explosion rang out. This time, Yechu Zhengmia was in an even worse state. He couldn't even hold on to the Sky Extermination Spear. The Sky Extermination Spear flew out while his body kept exploding. In the end, just like the third demon sword, only his head was left. He barely managed to keep his life. He used his remaining strength to protect his head and frantically retreated. Not good. Retreat. Retreat together and control the Sky Extermination Spear. Seeing this, Celestial Chef Zheng Yang roared. Then, he exchanged a palm with Fei Huang. Borrowing the power of that palm, he instantly retreated. His figure flashed again, and he appeared beside Yechu Zhengmia's head. A wave of energy protected Yechu Zhengmia's head as he brought it toward the Sky Extermination Spear. Kill. The illusory figure spoke for the first time. He took a step forward and charged toward Yechu Zhengyang and Yechu Zhengmia faster than teleportation. A terrifying sword light slashed toward them. Ah! Heavenly Master, save me! Yechu Zhengyang screamed in horror. Buzz! The Sky Extermination Spear vibrated on its own as if it had awakened. Then, a figure appeared beside the Sky Extermination Spear. This figure was much clearer than the one beside the Qingfeng sword. Her face could be seen clearly. It was a woman. Her long golden hair was tied up in a bun. Her figure was invincible, and her beauty was unparalleled. She was an extremely beautiful woman from the heavenly human tribe. She looked to be about 30 years old and had a mature charm. Even so, it was clear that this was not her real body. She stretched out a jade-like hand and gently grabbed the Sky Extermination Spear in her hand. Boom! In the next moment, a terrifying aura rushed out of the Sky Extermination Spear. Heavenly Master! Heavenly Master of Illusion! Yechu Zhengyang, Yechu Zhengmia, and the others shouted in surprise when they saw this figure. What? It's the Heavenly Master of Illusion. Lu Ming and the others were shocked. Heavenly Master was not a cultivation realm. It was just a title. It was a title for the Master of the Heavenly Palace. The Master of each Heavenly Palace was called a Heavenly Master. Now, there were 5 Heavenly Palace, which meant that there were 5 Heavenly Masters. The woman in front of them was called the Heavenly Master of Illusion. It was obvious that she was the master of the Illusion Heavenly Palace. Even a Heavenly Master had moved out, although this was not her real body. The Heavenly Master of Illusion held the Sky Extermination Spear in her hand. In a flash, she appeared in front of Yechu Zhengyang and swept out with the Sky Extermination Spear. Clang! The Sky Extermination Spear and the Azure Edge Sword clashed, and then the two weapons were both pushed back. So, the Heavenly Master of Illusion left her mark on the Sky Extermination Spear long ago. Fei Huang's figure appeared not far from the Azure Edge Sword as her cold voice rang out. When the Heavenly Master descends, destroy the great enemy. Yechu Zhengyang shouted. Destroy the great enemy. The other experts of the heavenly palace gathered behind Yechu Zhengyang and shouted, "Retreat!" However, the heavenly master of illusion only said one word. This stunned Yechu Zhengyang, Yechu Zhengmia, and the others. What did the heavenly master of illusion say? She wanted to retreat? The heavenly master of illusion had mobilized a wisp of her mark, which contained more power than a wisp of energy. Moreover, she controlled the sky extermination spear. As for Tang Feng, he only had a wisp of energy and an ordinary azure edge sword. The heavenly master of illusion wanted to retreat? Retreat! The heavenly master of illusion said the word retreat again, full of unquestionable meaning. This was an order. They could not refuse the order of a heavenly master. Retreat! Go! Yechu Zhengyang and the others roared, gathered together, and retreated. When they retreated to the side of the other heavenly humans, such as Yechu Qiuxian and the others, they used a powerful force to envelop these people and brought them away, breaking through the air and leaving this place in the blink of an eye. The heavenly master of illusion, holding the sky retribution spear, stood there from beginning to end, clearly wanting to block the pursuit of the azure edge sword, Fei Huang, and the others. Tang Feng's phantom did not move, allowing the people of the heavenly humans to leave. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. The experts of the other races did not dare to stay, and brought their own people to break through the air and leave. Ling Yue also left with the elders of the elf race. When she left, she looked at Fei Huang with a complicated expression. As for Dark Knight Rose, Di Jiani, Yin Jiuling, and the others, they had already left quietly when the two sides were fighting. Chapter 44-51. After all the people of the heavenly human tribe left, the figure of the heavenly lord of illusion dissipated, turning into a ray of light and entering the sky extermination spear. Then, the sky extermination spear shattered the void with a swoosh and disappeared without a trace. In the blink of an eye, only Fei Huang and the others were left in this universe. Master, disciple greets master. I haven't seen you for many years. I really missed you. The third demon sword flew to the front of Tang Feng's phantom and kowtowed. No need to be so polite. It's good that you can escape, but you have to work hard in the future. Back then, among the three of you, you and the heavenly sword were the most talented. But now, your second senior brother's cultivation is about to surpass yours. Tang Feng's phantom spoke. His voice was clear, like the voice of a young man. It's nothing to be surpassed by second senior brother, but I will definitely work hard. The third demon sword smiled cheekily. At this time, Tang Feng's phantom seemed to look at Fei Huang. To be precise, he was looking at Xian Yanqing in the lotus. Two bright rays of light burst out from his blurry face, even brighter than the sword light. Xian Yanqing's delicate body trembled, and her breathing was a little rapid. Obviously, she was a little excited. After all, this was her father in her previous life. Although her personality and thoughts were based on this life, she had awakened all the memories of her previous life. How could she not have feelings for this father of her previous life? How could she remain calm when the past was vivid in her mind? His gaze stopped on Xian Yanqing for a while, and then fell on Lu Ming. Good, very good. Tang Feng's phantom nodded and said a few words. It was unknown whether he said good for Xian Yanqing's return or for recognizing Lu Ming. After a pause, his voice continued, all of you have to speed up your cultivation and improve your strength. Catch up with your strength as soon as possible. In the near future, we will have a great battle. It will be incomparably difficult. Remember, speaking until here, Tang Feng's figure became more and more blurred until it disappeared. Clang! The Qing Feng sword let out a sword cry and returned to the second divine sword's back. There will be a great battle? Could it be that in the near future, we will have a decisive battle with the heavenly palace? Lu Ming's heart stirred as he pondered Tang Feng's words. Go! At this moment, Fei Huang lightly shouted. Everyone turned into rays of light and disappeared in a flash. Not long after, they returned to the base of the universe ruins. 3 days later. In a quiet courtyard, Lu Ming, Xie Nianqing, Autumn Moon, Myriad God, and the others were gathered together. They chatted as they drank and tasted delicacies. They talked about what they had learned and what they had experienced during this period of time. Suddenly, the expression of Lu Ming, who was drinking, changed. His body glowed, and a ray of light rushed out from his body. It was a broken stone. A fragment of the Life Spirit Vitality Stone. All these years, the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone had been quietly kept by Lu Ming without any abnormalities. Now, why had it suddenly flown out? This is, the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone? Xie Nianqing exclaimed softly. He recognized the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone at a glance. Myriad God, Autumn Moon, and the others also looked at the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone. They had heard of the legend of the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone, but this was the first time they had seen the real thing. Buzz! At this moment, the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone vibrated violently and suddenly broke through the air, flying rapidly towards a place. Lu Ming's expression changed. He said, "Wait for me. I'll be back soon." After saying that, he rushed into the sky and chased after the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone. This is not simple. I'll go take a look, Xie Nianqing said. After saying that, he also chased after him. Sister Nianqing, wait for me. Autumn Moon followed closely behind. Don't follow me. I'll go take a look, Myriad God said to the others. After saying that, he also rushed into the sky and chased after Lu Ming and the others. At the front, the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone was still flying. It was like a meteor that flew across the universe at an extremely fast speed. Lu Ming used all his strength but was unable to catch up. Furthermore, he constantly tried to control the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone but failed. He tried to communicate with the stone spirit in the Natal Spirit Stone, but the stone spirit did not respond at all. What's going on? Lu Ming frowned. He slowed down slightly, planning to ask Xie Nianqing and the others when they caught up. Xie Nianqing had the memories of his previous life and was knowledgeable. He might know something. Furthermore, the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone had recognized him as its master. As long as he was not too far away, he could still sense it. However, what surprised Lu Ming was that when he slowed down, the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone slowed down as well. This left Lu Ming even more surprised. Soon, Xie Nianqing, Autumn Moon, and Myriad God caught up. Lu Ming voiced his doubts. Autumn Moon and Myriad God were dumbfounded. As for Xie Nianqing, he was frowning in thought. Did the fragment of the Natal Spirit Stone sense something and want to bring you over? Xie Nianqing said. Sense what? Could it be a treasure of another Natal Spirit Hall or the Natal Spirit Heavenly Court? But if that's the case, the stone spirit in the Natal Spirit Stone should have reacted. Lu Ming said. With his understanding of the Natal Spirit Stone, if it really sensed a treasure of another Natal Spirit Hall or the Natal Spirit Heavenly Court, it would have made a fuss. But now, there was no reaction from the Natal Spirit Stone. Something was clearly amiss. Did it sense some kind of summoning? Xie Nianqing exclaimed softly. Some kind of summoning? Lu Ming was also alarmed. It's hard to say now. Let's follow and take a look. We'll know. The Natal Spirit Heavenly Court is of great importance. The master of the Natal Spirit Heavenly Court is the most ancient and powerful taboo. We can't miss it, Xie Nianqing said. There might be other taboo bodies before the master of the Natal Spirit Heavenly Court, but those that didn't achieve great success didn't leave their names in history and were extinguished like meteors. There were only 4 most powerful taboo bodies in history. The Master of the Natal Spirit Heavenly Court, the Master of the Primordial Divine Court, Tang Feng, and Fei Huang. And the Master of the Natal Spirit Heavenly Court was the most ancient of the 4 taboo bodies. This ancient existence had left behind too many legends. When the Natal Spirit Heavenly Court rose, it was also when the Heavenly Palace was at its peak. The 9 heavenly palaces dominated the universe. No faction dared to compete with the Heavenly Palace. But the Natal Spirit Heavenly Court dared to do so, and it caused great losses to the Heavenly Palace at its peak. It was obvious how powerful the Master of the Natal Spirit Heavenly Court was. Legend had it that the Natal Spirit Heavenly Court had 4 treasures and 18 divine weapons. The Bingxian rod in Lu Ming's hand was one of the 18 divine weapons. It was powerful and mysterious. Not to mention the 4 treasures. The Natal Spirit Stone Fragment was one of the 4 treasures. Now that there was something wrong with the Natal Spirit Stone Fragment, they naturally had to find out. There might be a great opportunity. Chapter 44-52. The Life Spirit Origin Stone Fragment maintained the same speed as Lu Ming and the others as it continued to fly. When Lu Ming and the others sped up, the Life Spirit Origin Stone Fragment sped up. When Lu Ming and the others slowed down, the Life Spirit Origin Stone Fragment slowed down. The Life Spirit Origin Stone Fragment seems to be flying towards the universe ruins. Lu Ming said. That's right. It has indeed been flying in the universe ruins. It seems that the Life Spirit Origin Stone Fragment is heading to the universe ruins. Xian Yanqing said. Their expressions were grave, but they were not afraid. The universe ruins were very dangerous. Other than the outer regions, the other regions required the strength of an almighty to explore. However, Lu Ming and the others were no longer the same as before. Now, the 4 of them were all 9th-level divine emperors, and their battle strength was extremely powerful. The weakest among them, Autumn Moon, had a battle strength of 11 stars. They could definitely fight an ordinary almighty. As for Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and Wan Shen, their combat power was even stronger. Their battle strength was comparable to that of an almighty. They could easily explore the universe ruins. Moreover, looking at the trajectory of the Life Spirit Origin Stone Fragment, it did not seem to be deep into the universe ruins. This flight lasted for 7 days. On this day, a foggy area appeared in front of them. In the quiet void, a foggy area appeared. It was vast and blocked one's vision. It was impossible to see what was in the foggy area. The expressions of Lu Ming and the others changed slightly. In the universe ruins, they should not venture into such unpredictable and strange places. It usually represented danger. However, the Life Spirit Origin Stone Fragment flew straight in. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, and Wan Shen's expressions changed slightly. However, they did not hesitate and rushed in after the Life Spirit Origin Stone Fragment. As soon as they rushed into the foggy area, their vision was severely obstructed. They could only see within 100 meters. This was very shocking. It should be known that at the level of Lu Ming and the others, their eyesight was too strong. It was not a problem for them to see from one end of a star field to the other, as long as there was nothing in the way. But now, he could only see things 100 meters away. It was really shocking. His eyesight had been weakened many times. The 4 of them became even more cautious as they flew together. Because in such a place, once they were separated, it would be very troublesome and they would not be able to find each other. Fortunately, the Natal Spirit Stone Shard gave off a hazy light, like a guiding light. Even from a distance, it could be seen. Otherwise, they would have lost track of the Natal Spirit Stone fragments long ago. They followed the Vitality Stone Shard and kept flying. It was hard to tell which direction they were going, and they had no idea how far they had flown. Soon, they had been flying in the foggy area for more than a day. "Be careful, something is approaching," Lu Ming suddenly said. Because just now, he suddenly felt a sense of danger, and all the hair on his body stood on end. In fact, even without Lu Ming's reminder, Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, and Myriad God had sensed it. They were all top-notch geniuses in the universe. Their spiritual senses were extremely sharp, and they weren't any worse than Lu Ming's. When Lu Ming sensed it, they sensed it too. The four of them leaned against each other and scanned the surroundings with their spiritual senses. However, in this foggy area, his spiritual sense was also greatly restricted. It was not much better than his eyesight, and could only extend to a distance of a few hundred meters. Creak, creak, creak. Within the fog, sharp sounds came from all directions. It was as if countless terrifying creatures were charging towards Lu Ming's group, surrounding them. There were more and more sharp sounds, and they were getting closer and closer. Then, Lu Ming and the others saw streaks of red light shining out. Balls of red light, like lanterns, were incomparably scarlet. These balls of scarlet light were the eyes, the light emitted by the eyes. There were at least a few hundred pairs of eyes. "Be careful!" Suddenly, Lu Ming shouted. This was because these scarlet lights were charging towards Lu Ming's group at an extremely fast speed. Lu Ming's group of four unleashed their strength, forming layers of defenses around them. At the same time, they circulated their spiritual senses and eyesight to the maximum, observing their surroundings. The scarlet lights were approaching Lu Ming's group at an extremely fast speed. Closer, closer. Finally, Lu Ming's group saw the appearance of these creatures. They were a strange kind of creature. They were humanoid, but their appearance was ferocious, like a malicious spirit. Their bodies were not made of flesh and blood. They looked very illusory, and like the color of the fog, they looked like ghosts. Only their eyes were bloodshot and filled with terrifying murderous intent. For the time being, they would call these creatures the fog spirits. A few of the fog spirits rushed to the front and were already approaching Lu Ming's group. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. They stretched out their sharp claws and clawed at Lu Ming's group. Their speed was extremely fast and filled with cold intent. One of the claws grabbed at Lu Ming's neck. Lu Ming's palm was like a knife, and he slashed out, slashing at the opponent's claws. When his palm slashed out, the void exploded, and the fog rolled. The fog spirit also exploded with a bang. Ninth layer Divine God Realm. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Lu Ming sensed that the fog spirit's strength was only at the ninth layer of the Divine God Realm. He immediately heaved a sigh of relief. Although their cultivation was also at the ninth layer of the Divine God Realm, their battle strength was many times stronger than that. Although there were many of these fog spirits, if they were only at the ninth layer of the Divine God Realm, they were nothing in their eyes. On the other side, Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, and Wanshan had also defeated a fog spirit. However, more and more mist spirits were charging at them from all directions. Kill! Kill! Lu Ming and the other three's eyes flashed with murderous intent as they attacked. A long spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand. With a shake of the spear, hundreds of spear lights shot out. Xian Yanqing shouted and waved his hand. Hundreds of black lotuses appeared and flew out. The petals of the lotuses opened and turned into sharp blades. The lotuses spun rapidly, and each lotus turned into a great killing weapon. Autumn Moon activated the 9 orifices' sacred heart. 9 divine lights filled the air and turned into 9 scimitars that flew out. Each scimitar slashed down, and a fog spirit was killed. Ordinary cultivators of the 9th layer of the Divine God Realm would be killed instantly when facing them. God power surged as the pantheon of gods unleashed a dozen or so essence secret magics, destroying large swaths of the misty specters. Hundreds of fog spirits seemed like a lot, but in a short while, they were all killed. They turned into clouds of fog and disappeared without a trace. After killing all the fog spirits, they realized that the life spirit vitality stone fragment hadn't left. It was still in the distance, emitting a dim light. Lu Ming and the other three quickly flew towards the life spirit vitality stone fragment. When Lu Ming and the others moved, the life spirit vitality stone fragment also moved. It continued to fly at the same speed as Lu Ming and the others. Chapter 44-53. However, Lu Ming and the others became more cautious. They paid attention to their surroundings and took precautions. After all, this foggy area was in the ruins of the universe. No one knew what dangers there were. Although the previous foggy spirits were all at the 9th layer of the Great God Realm, no one knew if there would be Divine Master foggy spirits later on. If there were Divine Master foggy spirits and they launched a sudden attack, it would be a great threat to them. However, Lu Ming and the others worried too much. This was because they didn't run into any Divine Master Realm mist specters in the later part of their journey. In the next few days, they encountered a few more waves of foggy spirits, but they were all at the 9th layer of the Great God Realm. Lu Ming and the others defeated them easily. Just like that, they followed the life spirit stone fragment and flew in the foggy area for 5 days. After 5 days, they finally passed through the foggy area and came to a void. This was a void surrounded by fog. It could be the center of the foggy area. There was fog everywhere. However, this region was the only place where there was no fog. Then, their eyes widened and they looked ahead. An ancient city. There was an ancient city floating in the void ahead. The ancient city emitted a hazy light, illuminating the void and making it look less dark. Could it be that this area was not shrouded by fog because of this ancient city? The 4 of them were shocked. However, they didn't have time to think too much because the life spirit stone fragment was flying toward the ancient city at an extremely fast speed. Lu Ming and the others quickly chased after it. Lu Ming didn't plan to use the greater teleportation technique to intercept the life spirit stone fragment because he had used it before and it was useless. After using the greater teleportation technique, he always appeared behind the life spirit stone fragment. They were getting closer and closer to the ancient city. Gradually, they could see the outline of the ancient city. It looked very ancient. The ancient city walls were covered with sword marks as if it had been through a fierce battle. Also, it was huge and vast. The closer they got to the ancient city, the more they felt the vastness of the ancient city. They couldn't see it from afar, but it was amazing up close. The planets in the universe were considered huge. However, compared to this ancient city, the difference was too great. Lu Ming felt that this ancient city was even larger than the home planet of the dragons. An ancient city was actually larger than a mother planet. It was truly shocking. Whoosh! After the fragment arrived, it emitted a dazzling light and flew into a huge city gate. There were city gates all around the ancient city. The city gate in their direction should be closed, but it was damaged. There was a huge hole in it, as if it had been blasted open by a punch. It was through this hole that the natal spirit shard had flown in. Lu Ming and the other 3 looked at each other, then nodded and flew into the city through the hole in the city gate. So many buildings. Arriving at the city, Zhang Xian looked around and saw countless buildings. These buildings were all incomparably tall. Buildings over 1,000 zhang tall could be seen everywhere. Many of the buildings had collapsed. Within the city, it was deathly silent. There was not a single sound, nor was there a single living being. Apart from Lu Ming and the other 3, there was nothing else. However, one could speculate that this ancient city must have been extremely prosperous in the past. Young master, the natal spirit shard has stopped. Qiu Yu said. When the natal spirit shard entered the city, it stopped flying and stopped there. No matter how close Lu Ming and the others were, the natal spirit shard did not move. Swoosh! Lu Ming's figure flashed and appeared beside the natal spirit shard. He reached out and grabbed the natal spirit shard in his hand. It was so easy that Lu Ming was surprised. It seems that the purpose of the natal spirit shard is to lure you here. Xian Yanqing said. Could this place be related to the heavenly court? Wanshan guessed. It's very likely that the natal spirit shard is a treasure of the heavenly court. If it wasn't related to the heavenly court, the natal spirit shard wouldn't have flown here on its own, Lu Ming said. As Lu Ming spoke, there were changes to the life soul essence stone fragments in his hands. On the natal spirit shard, there was a layer of light, and then an old figure appeared. It was the natal spirit shard. Lu Ming was elated. There was finally a reaction from his life soul, the stone spirit. Lu Ming grabbed the rock spirit of the life soul essence stone. Let go of me, the natal spirit shard immediately screamed and struggled. Old man, you're finally out. I kept summoning you, why didn't you respond at all? Lu Ming asked with an unfriendly look. He was very unhappy. I'm innocent. You can't blame me. I was sealed by a force and couldn't come out even if I wanted to. It was the natal spirit shard's own power that reacted. It wasn't until I came here that the power that sealed me disappeared. Look, I came out immediately. The natal spirit shard hurriedly explained. Then what is this place? Do you know? Lu Ming asked. Ha ha ha, of course I know. How could I not know where this place is? I didn't expect that after so many years, I would be able to return here. Ha ha ha. The natal spirit shard laughed crazily. Bam! Lu Ming's palm pressed down. Lu Ming's power was taboo. Even though the rock spirit was not made of flesh and blood, it was still sent spinning in the air by the slap. Don't go crazy here. Answer the question. Lu Ming said unhappily. You're pissing me off. The life soul, the stone spirit, glared at Lu Ming. When it saw Lu Ming raise his hand again, it was immediately discouraged and said, Don't do it. I'll talk, this is the heavenly court. This is the heavenly court? Lu Ming and company were shocked. That's right. This is the real heavenly court. It's not the life spirit palace, but the real heavenly court. Back then, the core of the heavenly court was here. The master of the heavenly court also lived here. The natal spirit shard said. This time, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Autumn Moon, and Wanshan were really shocked. This was the life spirit heavenly court. Lu Ming originally thought that this was one of the 9 life spirit palaces. He never expected that they would come directly to the heavenly court. Legend had it that after the heavenly court was destroyed by the heavenly palace, the real heavenly court disappeared. Over the years, countless people had searched for the heavenly court, but to no avail. They only knew that through the natal spirit shard, one could find the 9 life spirit palaces. Legend had it that the master of the life spirit heavenly court had been buried in the life spirit heavenly court. There were 3 other treasures buried with the master of the life spirit heavenly court. Chapter 44-54. The life spirit was one of the 18 divine weapons of the celestial court. They were already considered top treasures in the universe. How precious and mysterious would the 3 treasures be? For countless years, countless people had been tempted by the life spirit celestial court's treasures. Countless people had searched for them, but unfortunately, there was no clue. In history, it was not that no one had obtained fragments of the life spirit stone, but they had no clue about the life spirit celestial court. But this time, the fragments of the life spirit stone would bring Lu Ming and the others to the real life spirit celestial court? What was going on? Could it be that something had happened in the life spirit celestial court? Or was the life spirit celestial court's treasures about to be born? The heartbeats of the four of them could not help but accelerate. Could it really be a great opportunity? Are you familiar with the life spirit celestial court? Lead the way. If you can find the life spirit celestial court's treasures, I promise you that I will find more fragments of the life spirit celestial court for you to fuse with, and try my best to restore you. Lu Ming said, making threats and promises. However, the life spirit stone immediately cried and said, "You know that I'm just a fragment, and I know very little. I can only instinctively feel that this is the life spirit celestial court, but I don't have any more specific memories. I'm afraid I can't lead the way." Lu Ming was speechless. In the end, Lu Ming could only put away the fragments of the life spirit stone and discuss with Xian Yanqing and the others. In the end, everyone decided to explore. Countless people had searched for the life spirit celestial court but could not find it. And they had come here by chance, so how could they not explore? If they left just like that, they might have inner demons in their hearts. After some discussion, the four of them began to move. They were going to explore some of the nearby buildings to see if there were any treasures left inside. Although the life spirit celestial court had been destroyed a long time ago, many treasures would have decayed under the erosion of time. However, some of the top treasures could resist the erosion of time. Such treasures, once found, were priceless. Soon, the four of them came to a huge building. The building seemed to be in good condition and hadn't been damaged. However, the four of them were still very cautious. They covered their bodies with energy and were ready to fight at any time. After all, this was the life spirit heavenly court. Although it looked dead silent, no one could guarantee that there would be any terrifying danger. It was better to be careful. They extended their spiritual senses into the building and found no signs of life. Then, the four figures flashed and rushed into the building. The building was huge, but there was nothing in it. There was no danger, and there were no treasures either. There was only some dust, which seemed to be the result of something corroding. He looked around but didn't see anything. The four of them left the building and entered other buildings to search. After checking 7 or 8 huge buildings, he still didn't find anything. Is it really a dead city? The myriad deities whispered. There was no danger, nor were there any living creatures. If this was not a ghost town, then what was it? Let's go to the depths of the life spirit heavenly court to take a look. This ancient city is too big. This is only the edge. If there are any treasures, they must be in the depths, Lu Ming said. The other three naturally did not have any objections. After that, the four of them stopped checking the buildings. Instead, they soared into the sky and flew into the depths. They found that they could fly in the city, but there was a pressure that suppressed them. They could only fly at a low altitude, and it was difficult for them to rush into the sky. Perhaps the life spirit heavenly court was shrouded by some kind of restriction. That was why the life spirit primordial stone fragment had entered through the city gate, and not directly from the ancient city's sky. Without any danger, the four of them relaxed a little and sped up a lot. They left a large number of buildings behind, and the distance of hundreds of millions of miles passed in a flash. Suddenly, "Be careful!" Lu Ming shouted. A force spread out and blocked Xian Yanqing, Qiu Yu, and Wan Shen. The four figures suddenly came to a stop. Swoosh! Below them, 4 streaks of sharp sword gleams slashed toward Lu Ming and the other three. Lu Ming took a step forward, and a powerful force exploded. He blasted downward and collided with the 4 sword lights. Boom! 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 The 4 sword lights collapsed. It's only the 9th level of the divine god realm. No, this is the power of heaven? Lu Ming's face suddenly changed. The power contained within those 4 sword lights was actually the power of the heavens. Could there be a heavenly human tribe here? Soon, Lu Ming's guess was confirmed. Below them, a few figures dashed out from the destroyed building. There were 6 figures in total, and they rushed into the sky and surrounded Lu Ming and the other 3. They were 6 old men. Their faces were full of wrinkles, and their golden hair had lost its luster. However, Lu Ming and the other 3 could still tell that they were from the heavenly human tribe. The 6 heavenly human tribe members should be from the older generation. How could there be 6 old heavenly human tribe members here? Could they be from the heavenly human tribe that fought against the life spirit heavenly court? Impossible. The 4 of them quickly dismissed this idea. They could already tell that the 6 old men from the heavenly human tribe were only at the 9th level of the divine god realm. It was impossible for a 9th level divine god realm cultivator to live for such a long time. Although the 6 old men from the heavenly human tribe didn't look young, they hadn't reached the end of their lifespan. Could it be that they were also brought here by the fragments of the life spirit primordial stone? It was very likely. Because no one knew how many fragments of the life spirit primordial stone had been broken into. No one knew how many fragments of the life spirit primordial stone were in the universe. Since Lu Ming's fragment of the life spirit primordial stone was strange and had brought them here, it was very likely that the fragments of the others' life spirit primordial stones were also strange. However, the 6 old men from the 9th level of the divine god realm were nothing to Lu Ming and the others. Even if they didn't look young and had stayed in the 9th level of the divine god realm for many years, no matter how strong they were, they couldn't be compared to them. Kill them! Shouted one of the old men from the heavenly human tribe. He slashed at Lu Ming with his sword. The sword light was sharp and contained a terrifying power. It was the power of the heavenly punishment. However, his heavenly execution power was very weak. Compared to Yi Qianyue's heavenly execution power, it was many times weaker. The other 5 old men from the heavenly human tribe also attacked Lu Ming and the others. They all controlled the strongest heavenly punishment, but they were very weak. They couldn't be compared to the top geniuses of the heavenly human tribe. "Leave these people to me," said Wan Shen. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. Boom! He unleashed his divine power. The muscles on his arms bulged as he threw 6 punches. The 6 punches were powerful enough to topple mountains and overturn seas. They destroyed the attacks of the 6 old men from the heavenly human tribe and landed on them. Chapter 44-55. Wan Shen blasted out 6 fist forces, destroying the attacks of the 6 celestial elders. Not only that, the fist forces did not stop and continued to bombard the 6 celestial elders. Bang! 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 5 of the heavenly human elders' bodies exploded like balloons. Their bodies and souls were destroyed, and they died on the spot. Only 1 heavenly human elder survived, but there was a big hole in his chest. He was severely injured. "You! How can you be so strong?" the heavenly human elder said as he spat out blood. He was shocked. He couldn't believe it. The heavenly human tribe was talented. It was much easier for them to fight above their level than other tribes. The 6 of them weren't young. They had cultivated for dozens of stellar years. They had been stuck at the 9th level of the great supreme god realm for a long time. After cultivating for such a long time, their sky power was pure, and their secret techniques were profound. They even controlled a trace of the ultimate sky power. Combined, their battle power was extremely strong. The other 5 elders all had 6-star battle power. And he was even stronger. He had 7-star battle power. 6-star battle power and 7-star battle power were top-tier existences in the great supreme god realm. Not many people could defeat them. 6-star and 7-star battle power were nothing in the Battle of the Origins. That was because the Battle of the Origins gathered a group of the strongest geniuses in the universe. There were too many geniuses. Those at the bottom of the universe prodigy list only had 6-star battle power. The reason why they could possess such powerful combat prowess was because of the natural talent of the celestial race and the accumulation of many years of cultivation. The time they had cultivated was far from what a young man could compare to. However, even with such combat strength and the 6 of them joining forces, Wanshan had killed 5 of them with a single strike. Furthermore, Wanshan himself had been severely injured. If he wasn't stronger than the other 5 and good at survival, he would have been killed. The one who attacked was a young man. He could see that Wanshan was definitely young. He was definitely part of the younger generation. How could someone from the younger generation be so strong? Even if his battle power was so strong, his cultivation was too strong. He had reached the 9th level of the Great Supreme God Realm at such a young age. As far as he knew, even the strongest young genius of the heavenly human tribe was only at the 6th level of the Great Supreme God Realm. How could there be a 9th level Great Supreme God Realm existence among the younger generation? He couldn't figure it out. Get rid of it. There was only one thought in the heavenly human tribe elder's mind. Then, he roared, "How dare you kill my heavenly human tribe? You're courting death." After roaring, the heavenly human elder dragged his injured body and retreated rapidly. "You can't escape. Kill." The myriad god shouted coldly as he punched out again. He unleashed his divine power, and a massive fist energy formed into a gigantic fist that blasted toward his opponent. "Ah, someone will avenge me." The celestial race elder roared loudly. His body erupted with dazzling radiance as he prepared to go all out. However, his strength was far inferior to myriad gods. There was no way he could withstand it. His attack crumbled under myriad gods' fist force, unable to form any resistance. The heavenly human elder was about to die under the 10,000 gods' fist. "How dare you? Stop!" Suddenly, a loud cry rang out from the distance, shaking the void. A powerful aura exploded out from that direction. Following that, a long spear rapidly enlarged and stabbed towards Wanshan in an attempt to stop him. Divine Master Realm. Upon sensing this aura, Lu Ming and the others were startled. This aura came from a Divine Master Realm expert. The one who had attacked was a Divine Master. However, what made Lu Ming and the others certain was that this Divine Master wasn't too strong. He should only be a first-layer Divine Master. First-layer Divine Master? Don't even think about stopping me. Wanshan roared as a battle sword appeared above his head. This was an origin-sourced secret technique. Whoosh! The battle sword enlarged and slashed at the long spear. His fist energy didn't stop as it continued to blast at the heavenly human elder. This time, the heavenly human elder couldn't withstand it any longer. He exploded from the punch, his body and soul destroyed. Clang! On the other side, the battle sword and long spear collided, erupting with a violent explosion. Powerful energy swept out in all directions, causing many tall buildings to crumble into rubble. This was the Life Spirit Heavenly Court. Originally, the buildings here were sturdy and indestructible. Ordinary divine masters would find it difficult to destroy them. However, too much time had passed, and many things had decayed. Although the buildings here hadn't completely decayed, they were no longer sturdy and could be easily destroyed. The battle sword formed by the 10,000 deities was knocked back. It trembled violently and was covered in cracks. As for that long spear, it was also blocked and retracted. However, in the next moment, a beam of rainbow light flew over. The rainbow light faded, revealing a figure. It was also an elder who looked to be around 60 years old. Without a doubt, he was also a heavenly human. This heavenly human elder had a powerful aura. He was a first-layer divine master, but at this moment, his eyes were fixed on Wan Shen, revealing an incomparable shock. So young, but a ninth-layer divine master. You can even block one of my attacks, the divine master elder muttered, his voice filled with disbelief. These heavenly humans don't seem to recognize us? Lu Ming and the rest glanced at one another, revealing a trace of doubt. Based on their performance in the Battle of Origins, most people in the heavenly human tribe probably recognized them. This was because during the Battle of Origins, many people had transmitted images of the battle to the illusory space through the illusory divine jade. Countless people in the universe had witnessed the battle. However, these heavenly human elders they had just met didn't seem to recognize them at all. Moreover, they seemed to find it hard to believe that Wan Shen had reached the ninth-layer divine master realm. However, in the Taishang Immortal City, many of the younger generation's geniuses had reached the ninth-layer divine master realm. Could it be that these people in front of them didn't know about the Taishang Immortal City? Could it be that these people had already entered here? So what if I blocked one of your attacks? Killing you isn't difficult at all. Wan Shen thought for a while, but couldn't figure it out. He couldn't be bothered to think about it anymore. With a loud shout, he charged toward the heavenly human, intending to capture him and interrogate him properly. The bodies of the 10,000 deities emitted brilliant glows as they executed various origin secret arts. In the end, dozens of origin secret techniques filled the void and attacked the heavenly human. The ferocious attack caused the Divine Master Heavenly Human Tribe Elder's expression to change drastically. The aura of a primordial divine spirit. You're a pure-blooded primordial divine spirit. Impossible, the Divine Master Heavenly Human roared in horror. Nothing is impossible. Kill. Wan Shen's body mixed in with dozens of origin secret techniques and charged toward the heavenly human. A storm of attacks swept toward the heavenly human. At the critical moment, the heavenly human reacted. His long spear shook, turning into a sky full of spear light that pierced toward Wan Shen. Chapter 44-56. The spear light clashed with Wan Shen's many secret techniques, blocking several dozen of them. However, Wan Shen himself had managed to sneak in with the secret techniques. He wielded a giant battle sword and swept it toward the heavenly human tribe's divine master realm existences. The battle sword was a kind of origin secret art. When it was wielded by the 10,000 deities, it could unleash its full power. The sharp sword chi caused the heavenly human race divine lord's expression to turn grave. Buzz. He shook his spear, which was covered in a layer of strange energy and filled with a fiendish aura. This was one of the 4 strongest heavenly powers, the innate baleful energy. Those who could break through to the Divine Lord realm were all geniuses with decent talent. Thus, it was normal for a heavenly human race Divine Lord to be able to control one of the strongest heavenly powers. Clang! The spear and the sword clashed with a loud clang. Both of them trembled and retreated several dozen steps before they managed to stabilize themselves. This old fellow is so strong. Wan Shen licked his lips, and the savage killing intent in his eyes grew even thicker. The heavenly human race is indeed stronger than the other races, regardless of cultivation level. Lu Ming also spoke from nearby. Logically speaking, a 9th-level God Emperor with 9 stars of combat strength should be able to fight against an ordinary 1st-level God Lord. However, ordinary 1st-level God Lords were very rare. This was because anyone who could break through to the God Lord realm was extremely talented. When they were at the God Emperor realm, they were already powerful geniuses with star-level combat strength. This heavenly human race Divine Lord was even stronger. He controlled the innate baleful energy, and his combat strength far surpassed an ordinary 1st-level God Lord. Wan Shen had 12 stars of combat strength, but he was only able to fight to a draw. Thus, Wan Shen was very shocked. However, his opponent was even more shocked. What sort of combat strength is this? 12 stars of battle prowess, he actually possesses 12 stars of battle prowess. How is this possible? The heavenly human race Divine Lord's heart was in turmoil, and he found it difficult to calm down. As far as he knew, only 2 people in the younger generation of the heavenly human race possessed 12 stars of combat strength. They were Yi Chu Tianji and Yi Ling Hongye. The 2 of them were known as the strongest son and daughter of heaven. Now, a pure-blooded primitive god spirit actually possessed such combat strength. This was truly shocking. I must kill this guy. At this thought, the heavenly human tribe's divine lord revealed a strong murderous intent. He brandished his spear and charged at Wan Shen. Thousands of spear lights pierced through the void and shot toward the 10,000 gods. Kill! Wan Shen roared as he took a step forward. Like a primordial beast, he lunged forward with his sword, aiming for a vital point. At the same time, the other origin source secret techniques also attacked the heavenly human tribe divine master. Boom! 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 The 2 of them were like 2 shooting stars as they collided with each other. They were constantly fighting and exchanging blows. In the blink of an eye, the 2 of them had exchanged over 100 rounds, but there was still no clear victor. Wan Shen, end this quickly. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to the myriad god. The myriad god's gaze flickered as a ferocious glint flashed across his eyes. I wanted to play with you a little longer, but now, I'll send you on your way. As soon as he said that, a metal rod appeared in the myriad god's hand. This iron rod was pitch black, completely different from Lu Ming's mysterious ice rod, but it emitted a terrifying aura. This was a weapon of mass destruction controlled by the myriad gods, a top-grade divine weapon. Buzz! The pitch-black iron rod buzzed as it emitted a powerful aura. It rapidly expanded and pressed down on the heavenly human tribe's divine lord. The heavenly human tribe's divine lord's expression changed drastically. He roared furiously as he brandished his spear with all his might to block. However, when the 2 weapons collided, the heavenly human tribe's divine lord seemed to have been struck by lightning. His body shook violently as he retreated. The spear in his hand buzzed incessantly as its light dimmed significantly. It seemed to have been heavily injured. This is an source-grade divine weapon. The heavenly human tribe's divine lord roared. His eyes were filled with shock and greed. An source-grade divine weapon was a divine weapon exclusive to Origin Realm experts. Only Origin Realm experts could use it to its full potential. Those below Origin Realm would find it difficult to use it to its full potential, but it was still no small matter. It could greatly increase one's strength. However, there were just too few source-grade divine weapons. In the primitive universe, source-grade divine weapons were extremely rare. This was because it was just too difficult to refine. It required materials that contained origin, which were extremely rare. Furthermore, there were just too few people who could refine source-grade divine weapons. As a result, source-grade divine weapons were extremely rare. There were even quite a few Origin Realm experts who did not possess a source-grade divine weapon. From this, one could see just how rare source-grade divine weapons were. There were quite a few young geniuses who possessed great weapons of mass destruction. However, these weapons differed in strength. Most of them were master-grade divine weapons. There were very few people who possessed source-grade divine weapons. The value of a single source-grade divine weapon was immeasurable. The pitch-black iron rod in Wan Shen's hand was an source-grade divine weapon. It was no wonder that the heavenly human tribe's divine lord was so shocked and greedy. With his source-grade divine weapon, Wan Shen's battle prowess had greatly increased. He could completely suppress his opponent. Kill! Wan Shen roared as he continued to swing his rod at the heavenly human tribe's divine lord. The heavenly human tribe's divine lord's expression changed before he suddenly retreated. He did not dare to continue the battle. However, Wan Shen was relentless in his pursuit. His rod shadows filled the air as dozens of thousands of feet-long rod shadows pressed down on the heavenly human tribe's divine lord. He had no choice but to take them head-on. With a furious roar, he pushed his strength to the limit and stabbed his spear upward. A spear light burst out, piercing through the sky. He hoped to block the incoming rod shadows. However, when the rod shadows pressed down, the spear light shattered. The heavenly human tribe's divine lord coughed up a mouthful of blood, his face pale. He was injured after taking the attack head-on. No, this brat has used an source-grade divine weapon. I'm no longer his opponent. If I continue fighting, it'll be disadvantageous for me. I'll leave first and call for reinforcements to kill them. However, this brat is chasing me relentlessly. It'll be difficult to shake him off. I need to find a hostage to threaten him before I can leave. Who should I find? The heavenly human tribe's divine lord quickly glanced at Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and Qiu Yu. Finally, he fixed his gaze on Qiu Yu. In his opinion, a woman would be more useful as a hostage. Moreover, Qiu Yu would look more delicate. Therefore, he dashed toward Qiu Yu without hesitation. At this moment, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and Qiu Yu were separated. They were afraid that the heavenly human tribe's divine lord would escape, so the three of them had split up and surrounded him. Seeing the heavenly human tribe's divine lord dashing toward Qiu Yu, Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing did not react at all. They had no intention of helping him. Lu Ming knew Qiu Yu's strength very well. Although her combat strength of 11 stars was not as strong as Wan Shen's, Qiu Yu still had a powerful weapon. Although it was not an source-grade divine weapon, it was still a top-grade divine weapon. If Qiu Yu used all her strength, it would not be a problem for her to block the heavenly human tribe's divine lord. As expected, Qiu Yu shouted and a machete flew out from between her eyebrows. Under the power of the sacred heart of 9 orifices, the machete slashed toward the divine lord. Chapter 44-57. Autumn Moon's scimitar was covered by the power of the sacred heart of 9 orifices and was extremely powerful. It hit the spear of the heavenly human tribe divine master. With a clang, the heavenly human tribe divine master's body was blocked and he even took a few steps back. Although Autumn Moon also took a few steps back, the heavenly human tribe divine master's heart was pounding. How is this possible? How can this woman be so powerful? The power of 9 colors. Is this the legendary sacred heart of 9 orifices? The heavenly human tribe divine master was extremely shocked. He did not expect another person to be so powerful. Although Autumn Moon's strength was not comparable to Wan Shen's, she was definitely powerful and had a combat strength of 11 stars. This combat strength was already at the level of the heavenly children. First, it was Wan Shen who was comparable to the strongest heavenly children. Now, it was a seemingly weak woman who was at the same level as the heavenly children. More importantly, her cultivation had also reached the 9th level of the divine god realm. This seriously exceeded the knowledge of the heavenly human tribe divine master. Since when were there 2 such terrifying geniuses in the universe? Autumn Moon did not think as much as the heavenly human tribe divine master. After she took a step back, she continued to control her scimitar and slashed at the heavenly human tribe divine master. The heavenly human tribe divine master reacted and blocked her attack. The two of them exchanged blows again and the outcome was a draw. Meanwhile, Wan Shen had already rushed over and was about to reach them. No, this woman is too powerful. It's impossible to take her as a hostage. I chose the wrong target. I should have gone for the other one. Thinking of this, the heavenly human tribe divine master did not continue fighting. He quickly retreated and rushed toward Xian Yanqing. Wan Shen was speechless. Seeing the heavenly human tribe divine master rushing toward Xian Yanqing, Wan Shen was not in a hurry and slowed down. Wan Shen was willing to give up Autumn Moon to go for Xian Yanqing. Wan Shen really wanted to see his expression. Soon, Wan Shen's wish was fulfilled. Xian Yanqing's face was cold. He did not want to waste time talking to Wan Shen, so he summoned his ultimate weapon. Xian Yanqing's ultimate weapon was a black lotus. The black lotus spun rapidly and its petals opened, turning into the most terrifying weapon and attacking the heavenly human tribe Divine Master. Clang clang clang, the black lotus collided with the long spear of the celestial race's Divine Master. The black lotus spun crazily and cut the long spear. The terrifying power made the celestial race's Divine Master lose his grip on the long spear. He retreated rapidly and spat out large mouthfuls of blood. He was injured again. No, this is impossible. How is this possible? The heavenly humans were the most hurt. He felt that his heart was about to explode from the shock. This was because he realized that Xian Yanqing's strength was in no way weaker than myriad gods. A 9th-layer Great God Realm cultivator with 12 stars of battle power controlled a terrifying killing weapon. It was the best configuration. What's going on? What's going on? Has the world gone mad? The fact that several such terrifying geniuses had appeared consecutively had completely exceeded the limits of his imagination. He had stayed here for thousands of years. What had happened outside? If there was only one such terrifying heaven's favorite, he could still accept it. But now, it happened again and again. There were already 3 of them. He was dumbfounded. I don't believe it. I don't believe that all 4 of them are so powerful. I don't believe it, the celestial race's Divine Master roared in his heart. He immediately abandoned Xian Yanqing and charged toward Lu Ming. Die, brat! The celestial race's Divine Master roared and unleashed his killing move. Terrifying energy surged toward Lu Ming. He wanted to kill Lu Ming in one fell swoop. It seemed that he would only feel better if he killed Lu Ming. Only then would he feel that the world was not as crazy as it seemed. Only then would he feel that his previous understanding of the world was correct. Myriad God, Xian Yanqing, and Xiao Yu were speechless. Seeing the celestial race's Divine Master charging toward Lu Ming, they were speechless. They were even less anxious. They simply followed behind the celestial race's Divine Master and blocked his path of retreat. I'm too lazy to play with you. Let's finish this in one move. A snow-white staff appeared in Lu Ming's hand. It was the Bingxian staff. The Bingxian staff could not be used in the Taishang Immortal City, but there were no such restrictions here. The Bingxian staff had been dormant for 1,000 years. It was time for it to shine. Buzz! Lu Ming activated his full strength. Rich and majestic forbidden energy surged wildly into the Bingxian staff. The Bingxian staff rapidly enlarged into a towering pillar. Then, it smashed toward the celestial race's Divine Master. Boom! Then, the celestial race's Divine Master's body crashed into the ground like a meteorite. He crashed into a dilapidated building, creating a huge crater in the extremely hard ground. The celestial race's Divine Master lay in the crater. His bones were all shattered. He could not move at all. Blood kept flowing out of his mouth, and his body kept convulsing. However, his eyes were blank. He was doubting life. His mind was also a mess. A few questions kept echoing in his mind. How is this possible? How can his combat strength be so strong? 13 stars? Impossible. This is crazy. This world has gone crazy. I must be dreaming. He could not accept the reality in front of him. Divine Lord Realm existences had extremely sharp senses, and their perception of power was also extremely shocking. In the collision just now, although Lu Ming had used the Bingxian staff, he could still feel that Lu Ming's combat strength had surpassed 12 stars and reached the legendary 13 stars. He was almost scared to death. What did 13 stars mean? He had learned about it before. Throughout the long history of the primitive universe, there were very few who could reach 13 stars. One could count them with one's fingers. In the history of the celestial race, there were only 2 celestial thearchs who had reached 13 stars of combat strength. Those 2 were people who had mastered the perfect power of heaven. As far as he knew, the current generation of the celestial race could be said to be full of talents. There were even 2 celestial race cultivators with 12 stars of combat strength. However, none of them had reached 13 stars. Now, a young man who had reached 13 stars of combat strength had suddenly appeared. He was completely dumbfounded. This expression is awesome. The myriad deities flew over and laughed loudly. This guy wanted to take the others as hostages, but in the end, he was beaten to the point of doubting life. Seeing a divine master like this, Wanshan felt an indescribable sense of satisfaction. Let's leave this place first. The commotion just now was too big. There might be other celestial race cultivators nearby. Xian Yanqing said. Lu Ming nodded. He grabbed the heavenly human clan's god master in his hand. This heavenly human divine master had been severely injured by Lu Ming's attack and couldn't fight back. The Bingxian staff is stronger than I thought. Without a doubt, it's an source-level divine weapon, and not an ordinary one. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Back then, the heavenly court was so powerful that it could compete with the heavenly palace. As the heavenly court's 18 divine weapons, there was no doubt that they were all source-level divine weapons, and not ordinary ones. They were even more advanced than Wanshan's black staff. Together with Lu Ming's 13 stars of combat strength, it was normal for him to severely injure the heavenly human divine master with one attack. Chapter 44-58. Grabbing the celestial race god lord, the 4 of them left in a flash. Not long after, they appeared in an undamaged building in the distance. Speak. Why did the celestial race appear here? When did you arrive? How many people did you bring? Lu Ming coldly asked as he threw the celestial race god lord to the ground. By now, the celestial race god lord had come back to his senses. He glared at Lu Ming's group of 4 with hatred and murderous intent. I know that one of you is in control of the life soul source stone fragment, but don't even think about getting any information out of me. Is that so? Aren't you afraid of death? Lu Ming coldly said. Will you let me go if I tell you? The celestial race god lord countered with a mocking tone. Clearly, he was very rational and knew that even if he told them everything, only death awaited him. Thus, he would not say anything. Today, you have to speak even if you don't want to. Wanshan coldly barked as he sent a stream of energy into the god lord's body. Immediately, the celestial race god lord's body began to tremble, and cold sweat broke out on his face. He was clearly enduring immense pain. But he gritted his teeth and did not say a word. He did not even grunt. You're quite stubborn. Now, I'll let you have a taste of withered bones devouring your soul. Let's see how long you can endure. Wanshan coldly snorted as he waved his hands and sent several streams of energy into the god lord's body. The god lord's body began to tremble even more. More and more cold sweat broke out on his body, and his face turned red from the pain. However, he still managed to hold himself back. You'd better speak soon. I can give you a quick death. Wanshan said. Don't expect me to say a single word. Someone will avenge me. Just you wait. The celestial race god lord roared. Wanshan's expression turned somewhat ugly. This person's bones are truly stubborn. It seems like it won't be easy to get some information out of this person. Kill him. Lu Ming said. As you wish. Wanshan stepped forward, a violent energy exploded and destroyed the God Lord's body. However, his forehead began to shine. One could see an extremely deep black hole. A golden divine bridge extending into the depths of the black hole. This was the universe bridge. Normally, Almighty Masters would form a universe bridge that led to the depths of the black hole. Their ultimate goal was to connect to universe ocean. Once he reached the pinnacle of the Almighty stage, his universe bridge would connect to universe ocean, and he would be able to comprehend the origin. That was why it was impossible to comprehend origins without reaching the peak of the Divine Master realm. After the battle for the seed of origin in the Grand Supreme Immortal City, they were able to enter the cosmic ocean directly. Their methods could be said to be extremely powerful. The universe bridge kept trembling as though it was struggling to break through space. You still want to struggle? Break, the myriad god bellowed coldly. His strength erupted as he stomped down. With a loud boom, the black hole along with the universe bridge completely exploded, turning into energy and dissipating. This divine master of the heavenly human tribe had been completely annihilated. It seems like there are quite a number of people from the heavenly human tribe who have entered this place. From now on, we have to be more cautious, Lu Ming said. Next, they left this place and continued to head deeper into the ancient city. However, they were much more cautious. They did not fly in the air, but ran quickly on the ground. Even so, they were still attacked very quickly. A group of heavenly human tribe members blocked Lu Ming's path. There were more than a dozen of them, and they all looked very old. One divine master and 12 ninth-level great god realm cultivators. We can deal with them. Let's go. Lu Ming said. The divine master on the other side was only a first-level divine master. There was nothing to be afraid of. Set up the formation, shouted the heavenly human cultivator of the first godly leader layer. The other 12 cultivators of the 9th great supreme god layer moved and surrounded him. A terrifying chi dashed to the skies. Then, a huge battle sword was formed and slashed toward Lu Ming and the others. Be careful, it's the 9 heavens battle formation. Lu Ming rushed forward and took out the Bingxian rod. He swung it out and clashed with the huge battle sword. Boom! The battle sword shattered. The 13 people on the other side kept retreating. Their faces were pale, but they were not injured. The 9 heavens battle formation is indeed powerful. However, these people's strength is also extraordinary. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. The 12 ninth-level Great God Realm cultivators from the heavenly human tribe had at least 6-star fighting strength. Some of them even had 7-star fighting strength. There was also a powerful divine master. After setting up the 9 heavens battle formation, they managed to block Lu Ming's attack. However, the heavenly human tribe members were even more shocked. When they looked at Lu Ming, they were deeply shocked. The 9 heavens battle formation, which had a first-level divine master as its core and 12 powerful great god realm cultivators as its support, was actually at a disadvantage. However, before they could think about it, Wan Shen and the others had also arrived. Wan Shen, Xian Yinqing, and Qiu Yu attacked together. The attacks fell like a storm. The 13 heavenly human tribe members were shaken and kept retreating. The 12 9th-level Great God Realm cultivators were bleeding from the corners of their mouths. Even with the support of the 9 heavens battle formation, they were still under great pressure. Where did these people come from? The 13 heavenly human tribe members were terrified. The strength of these 4 young people was beyond their imagination. Lu Ming and the other 3 were about to break the other party's 9 heavens battle formation in one go. However, there was a loud shout not far away. A few thieves, how dare you? Die! A loud shout rang out, and an overwhelming aura surged over. This is, a second-level divine master. Lu Ming, Xian Yinqing, and the others turned grim. They might be able to fight against a first-level divine master with their powerful weapons, but they could even suppress him. Lu Ming, in particular, could even kill his opponent. However, a second-level divine master was much stronger than a first-level divine master. Even Lu Ming might not be able to defeat a second-level divine master. "Let's go!" Lu Ming shouted. The four stopped attacking. They turned around and fled into the distance. A second-level divine master heavenly human was not someone they could fight against. If it was just an ordinary second-level divine master, the four of them might be able to fight him if they worked together. However, the members of the heavenly human tribe were generally stronger than those of other tribes. This was not the point. The point was that they did not know how many heavenly human tribe members were in this ancient city and how many experts there were. However, it seemed that there were quite a few of them. Once they were surrounded, they would be in great danger. "Where do you think you're going?" An old man appeared not far away. He was a second-level divine master, and he chased after Lu Ming's group with astonishing speed. "Let's chase together." The 13 heavenly human tribe members also chased after Lu Ming's group. In the blink of an eye, they had disappeared. Not long after, Lu Ming's group of four had unsightly expressions. This was because that second-level divine master was very fast, much faster than them. The distance between the two sides was constantly closing. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.